I'm going live.
Yeah, honey.
Hey there, I'm Walter Snacklefox. We are streaming Reverse 1999 today, doing a little bit of dailies here before the actual stream starts. Alright, he's done. I can do the others later. Let me check. I think I had to update it. I messed it up. It's been updated now by the, I think, Blood Archer. Oh, okay, okay. Sorry about that. Hope you're not disappointed. We are hopefully gonna finish up the story. If not, we've got one more session on it. The story so far is that they're trying to do experiments on the storm, which is what turns back time and does weird stuff. And somehow Regulus got involved, the most trustworthy individual on our team of plucky heroes. And by that I mean absolutely not trustworthy. She has her own way of doing things. She's not a bad girl, in either sense of the word, but trusting her to do anything like you expect is a very strange idea. So she got them onto this cruise ship, and then things start going wrong on the cruise ship, and I think they're also going to try and do the outside world since I boarded this ship. Storm experiments on the cruise ship. Fatutu is one of the new gacha characters coming up, and she's like an adorable island girl.
Why do I feel even more confused?
Yeah.
I trust my people. They're good and kind, and they've never lied to me. You just have to look at their spirit shells to see it. The songs and dances of Melly nourish the shells, and the purity of my people's souls color their surface in the most beautiful patterns.
Yeah.
And Miss Grace, she's been good to us too.
Don't trust her. She's evil. Even though she helped you out a little bit, she is a little dark.
She warned us about the destruction of Melly, saving us from the flood, and she showed us the world as it really is.
Yeah, but maybe she brought the destruction too. How about that? I don't know.
She even wants us to be part of her plan. Our ancestral shells have also told us how terrible the world outside is. That it's a place with Sanguma witches, Nakarua serpents, and all kinds of other beasts. But
this is Barcarola. That's Regulus, the girl I was talking about earlier. She's kind of crazy. These scenes replay again and again in her mind. The casual conversations, the warm smiles, and the glowing lamps in their hands.
But now I'm here, on this ship full of outsiders. And I feel that they're just like us.
Past and present blur together as Fatutu searches her memories, leaving her dizzy and overwhelmed. In her daze, she has wandered into another part of the ship. It isn't until a voice snaps her out of her thoughts that she realizes where she is.
Hello, young lady. What are you doing out here all by yourself? Don't just stand there. Come on in.
Okay.
Sorry. I didn't even realize where I was going.
One helmsman gives her a hearty pat on the shoulder.
No need to apologize, my dear. You are more than welcome. You saved us old folks from sitting here in silence till we reach shore.
Charlie's just happy to have someone new to tell his stories to.
Yeah.
I bet Esem will jump at the chance to show us how he drives off those series too.
Series? I've heard they're a real headache for passing ships, but I've never seen one with my own eyes.
Fatutu curiously peers out the window. A strange yet familiar hum fills the air. Roar. Ceres.
Well, well, it seems this young lady knows a thing or two about the city.
How about you give us a hand, eh?
Aww. He extends a rough hand to her. Fatutu takes a hasty step back, but the hand remains warmly held out before her. She has seen many hands like this before. Calloused working hands, like those of Grandma Penu, Uncle Tarek, Grandpa Natano, and many others of the Nukutai. There's something comforting in its familiarity.
Me? I'm not sure I know how to...
Don't worry, it's almost too easy.
These cities are afraid of loud noises, and the Free Breeze has plenty of speakers on board.
Oh.
The sea is with us today. Of course it is. For how long we've sailed its waves, why wouldn't it be?
The helmsmen exchange a few winks and shoulder pats. There is a clear camaraderie between them. They roll up their sleeves as they prepare for their performance.
Get ready, folks! Port the helm!
Alright, that's not a bad team.
Program activated.
And yeah, stick the bonus onto Lucy. Start channeling
Perfectly understood.
Andronala. And then
Ready?
start
Aim.
channeling Lepera.
I've got some trouble brewing. Please, allow me. Feel my dark embrace.
Those shields
Press from the
block a lot of
crucible.
damage.
Stay put. This will hurt longer than me.
Damage.
Ouch. Silencing, that's annoying.
Get ready. This is going to be a crowd pleaser. Ready? Aim. Wait for the pop. Keep calm. Ha! My crucible really has a mind of its own.
Attack.
Move that over here. I can move it even though it's silenced. That's nice.
Perfectly
Or
understood.
channeling mirror. Send that out to get
I
her
know how to
boosted
use
up.
it.
And
I've got
one
some
of these.
trouble brewing. Please, allow me.
Round or two.
Bang, bang.
We'll have Andronala do her big strike and
I
probably
never
right-
miss. Most of the time, anyway.
start attacking this guy though.
Get ready. This is going to be a simple arcane trick.
And let's see if I do these two.
Loading.
I've got some
That'll
trouble brewing.
combine. Perfect.
Wait for the pop. Would you care to lie down?
The light that illuminates all.
Fire.
Alright, I have an absolute ton of damage at my disposal here. Alright, might as well move this over. Don't think I can use it that
Shall
way.
I, Master?
Now presenting Bingla's.
So we're gonna start
Now
there.
presenting Bingla's meat.
Shall I, Master?
And then hit this.
Time to pull out the expensive. You must see your true
And let's
self.
see how much damage we do with combining all that power.
Oh, don't stare at it for too long.
Oh boy. You're gonna be dead. But it did take until an
Child
Angelina
of science.
to really kill him.
Sweet dreams.
Alright, kill one of them. Alright. Gotta use these up efficiently.
Allow me to
Finally
double
can
check
use
the battery
that.
levels.
A simple arcane trick.
Barrage.
Do you have a little faith in me,
He has
Master?
a lot of damage reduction with that
Didn't
shield.
see that coming, did you?
Oh, and another Andronella ult.
Get ready.
Shall I, Master?
Allow me to double
Get ready.
Shall I, Master?
Faraday's Miracle.
Wait for the pop. That's what it's all about. Life or death battle and victory.
Course 270, hard starboard. Slow down to 5 knots. Watch the bow wave. Turn on the speakers. Time to chase off some sea monsters.
The seasoned navigator issues a steady flow of instructions. The cruise ship slowly turns, skillfully avoiding the reach of the sea monster's tentacles.
Signorina?
He gives Fatutu a harmonica and asks if she can play it.
No.
Don't worry. Anything you play, will do. Can't be worse than what Essam has to offer.
I can hear you, you know.
The sailors joke and jostle as they clamor for their respective instruments.
I grieve to leave my native home. I grieve to leave my comrades all.
They burst into song.
Come on, join in.
The harmonica finds its way to her lips. Melodious music, off-key, yet heartfelt, drifts out toward the sea. This is just like those nights by the bonfire in Melly.
But a poor simple sailor just like me must be tossed and turned in the deep dark sea. Farewell to Nova Scotia, the sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. For when I'm far away on the briny ocean tossed, will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me? One
nameless sea shanty after another tears through the fog, with lights shimmering on the sea's surface like embers after a festival bonfire. Realization strikes her. She finally understands her role.
Miss Grace.
The outside world is indeed full of dangers, but there is less to fear than you think. I'll help you through it.
Advice and reassurances echo in her mind. She suddenly feels weak.
What am I doing? Sorry, I have to go.
She scurries off. Something caught my throat, sorry.
I don't understand. Why are they so nice? This is nothing like the stories.
Her questions hang in the air. So too does a knuckle at the door.
Come in.
Is Grace?
Timekeeper, I hope you didn't have too much difficulty during the power outage.
Not at all, Sonato. It actually gave me the opportunity to try out X's latest invention, the bouncing bulb. It's very interesting. A little draining, though.
Would you like to try out one of these, then?
Did you make this, Sonato?
I did. Miss Saloni from Nukutea taught me how to make it. It's called a Sea Mother's Eye. She told me every household in Meli lights them during storms to help guide those at sea safely home. She said, with this, no one will ever be lost in the dark.
Aw.
Thank you, Sonato. And what a lovely saying.
Soneto breathes a sigh of relief. But her eyes remain fixed on the Sea Mother's Eye.
After this mission, we should be able to apply for a field investigation in Italy.
Italy? Thank you, Timekeeper.
Oh? Soneto is unable to hide her delight.
But let's focus on this mission first. May I borrow your communicator? There's something I need to verify.
Of course.
Connecting to Madam Z of the St. Pavlov Foundation. The person you're trying to reach is currently unavailable due to communication interference.
Ouch.
Please leave a message after the beep.
Huh?
Just as I suspected, communications are blocked. Someone's jamming the signal.
Do you think it's Manus Vindicte?
It's possible. The flyer proved that this ship has some kind of association with them. We need to stay vigilant.
Regulus should know about this. I'll go find her.
A heart-wrenching scream echoes from afar, reverberating through the halls of the ship. No!
Regulus!
Regulus, they recognize her. They hurry over to the source of the scream.
Regulus! Are you alright?
Soneto stops in her tracks. The scene before her is all too familiar, for it is played out countless times at the LSCC.
Beautiful day, isn't it?
Ignoring the fact that Regulus just dropped her sunglasses, Ulrich calmly pours coffee into his energy intake.
Mr. Ulrich? What are you doing here?
The ferrofluid swirls in a distorted arc.
Good day, Timekeeper, Researcher Regulus, Miss Soneto.
This really the disguise you went with?
Wait a minute.
She only
Virgin, did
realizes
you
it
know
now.
he'd be here? Listen, there's no way I'm paying for even half an extra ticket. In fact, he should be paying for me.
Well, this might take a while to explain.
Science Salon. An unofficial meeting on the Artificial Storm Project.
Did you wake up with a glitch this morning, Ulrich? The storm has already taken so many lives, and now you're planning to intentionally bring another one upon us?
Quit your worrying, Jonathan. The artificial storm will be under strict control, and you're not even on the research team. Besides, there are some issues we still need to fix, so we've come to a bit of a standstill for now. I promise you won't wake up to find the building engulfed by the storm.
Sorry? Are you saying that you've already started?
Ulrich, I have to warn you. Ever since you found that satellite, you've been pushing past the limits of Laplace's regulations. You've accessed materials from other branches, used valuable resources for your own purposes, and run experiments without proper clearance.
Oh my.
What baseless claims, Penelope? I'll have you know that everything I've done has been approved by the HQ director.
Director? We don't have a damn director!
But we do have a substitute director, so there.
He gives a pointed nod in Enigma's direction.
For the last time, I'm not the substitute director. No one can substitute for Madame Lucy.
That familiar heavy knock on the table resounds once more.
But let's set that aside. We're here to figure out what to do with the satellite. Not to stage an intervention for Ulrich.
The solution's as clear as day, my friends. We'll do exactly what they did in Plisetsk during the third storm. Find someone brave and send them into space.
He's right. Why don't we just build another satellite and see how it handles the storm?
Okay. A sarcastic applause suddenly erupts.
Wow, what an amazing idea! Truly a stroke of genius. So, we're talking about a controlled experiment, right? That means we'll send not just one, but dozens of satellites, all carrying different items.
What's the problem with that?
Oh, nothing. The budget team will be thrilled at the idea. Here's a better one. We sit tight and wait till the storm sends us back to 1995. And bingo! Surprise! There's our satellite, orbiting around the Earth once again.
Medicine Pocket, please mind your tone in the meeting room.
Oh, sure. Just as soon as they stop trying to waste all our research funds.
I'm with researcher Medicine Pocket here. There's no need to launch more satellites. We should be focusing on the Artificial Storm Project.
Ulrich knocks the table, drawing everyone's attention.
The project has made substantial progress. I have collected every item that was once on the Regulus satellite, including the space seeds from Plesetsk. You have no idea how difficult that was, let me tell you. It was easier to get Regulus's record.
Still, you probably didn't need to steal it, Ulrich.
You say that, but I've heard that it isn't going all that smoothly. Accelerating the reaction of asymmetrical nuclide R with fixed frequency sound waves so as to stimulate the storm. It sounds impressive, but what's the payoff? Have you found the key material that provides immunity from the storm?
Good point, Lucas. I never claimed the experiment was perfect. In fact, I'll be the first to admit that it has some serious procedural flaws.
Huh?
Through 26 microscale artificial storms, I tested 7 different space seeds, an astronomical spectrometer, a high-speed photometer, some obsidian crystals, and a Lycopus lucidus talisman.
Okay.
None of them endured the trials.
Then what do we do now? Just give up?
No.
Haha! Ulrich awkwardly clears his throat, whatever that means for a ferrofluid body.
But I have used all the asymmetrical nuclide R that we had in the warehouse.
What?
Alright, she's upset. Medicine Pocket springs to their feet like a shocked animal.
Sit down, Medicine Pocket. Jonathan, go get some stress ball.
No, I can shout all I want, okay, substitute director?
Medicine Pocket slams the table, sending papers flying.
Ulrich! All the asymmetrical nuclide are! It's all gone?
I had to use it. It's just standard consumption, like in any other experiment. And I got results.
Good.
With that amount of resources, of course you'd find something, dumbass. Even a broken clock's right twice a day. Keep at it if you want. You're gonna smash that dead end head on.
I don't see why you're commenting on my work. We're not even in the same department.
Ulrich presses down on the table to ease the vibration, shaking the ferro fluid in his tank.
Because you used my materials! That was most of the nuclide art from both Laplace and the Foundation! You have to be kidding me! You get all you want while I'm here like some chump filling out endless forms just to get a few drops!
Like some chump! The badge on Medicine Pocket's chest creaks under the stress of their shouts.
Next time, just give me the funds and nuclide, and I'll be more than happy to run a few laps in the storm with that crap from the satellite and see what happens.
We would never endanger the life of a researcher like that.
That's why we should launch another satellite. No need to risk anyone's life, especially since we got plenty of colleagues with aeronautics experience.
Can't do that. Our best space expert is still in the Laplace care unit.
The smoke temporarily clears, and finally one member returns to the meeting to its main agenda.
So, Ulrich, what's the next step with your experiment?
I'm taking it outside, of course. The richest deposits of asymmetrical nuclide R aren't in the lab or the Foundation's warehouse. They're out there in the real world. We've been overlooking how the density of nuclide R has affected our experiment results.
Come on, Ulrich, that's just an excuse. Where would you find a higher nuclide R density than in a Laplace lab?
That might be the exact problem. The environment here is too controlled, too clean. The storm has never been the manifestation of order, but of chaos.
Well, that's an argument.
And how exactly do you plan on finding chaos?
The scientists are fighting tooth and nail to secure the budgets for their individual projects.
Everyone, please! If we just sit here arguing instead of getting out there and doing something, those sneaky researchers at Institutum Lawrence are going to get ahead of us!
He slams a butterfly pattern envelope heavily onto the table, adding yet more fuel to the fiery chaos.
Lawrence? That strange secret society?
Let's see what kind of bull they're spouting this time.
No, Medicine Pocket, just toss the letter into the shredder.
Hurried footsteps echo, and a clear voice cuts through the chaos.
Ladies and gentlemen, my apologies for interrupting your debate. The St. Pavlov Foundation has passed a new resolution.
Oh? To be continued. Friendly discussion. Exchange is one thing and competition is another. Without both, how can we improve? What's this? A Chaos Roaring box. Lauren's butterfly attached a roaring ritual to an envelope. This is the device, driven entirely by Arcanum. Are we really going to use this? A black eyeball covered in synapses, complete with a mouth? Let me guess, it's got stringent activation conditions, experimental results that are near impossible to replicate, and an unconventional method of operation. Once activated, it detects environmental changes through gnosis, emitting screams at varying decibel levels to indicate supernatural phenomena. What? Well, it certainly fits their style. Our understanding of the storm is still quite shallow. Institute of Lorenz is offering a new perspective. The storm is not a phenomenon, but the ebb and flow of chaotic variable energy. Their concept of pneuma is an indeed appropriate way to understand it. It seems you've gained a lot from this exchange of letters. Are you planning to author a new paper together? You could just rename the asymmetrical nuclide R to chaotic energy, and there, our department's monthly research quota is checked off. It is, without a doubt, that the Institute of Lorenz has provided significant contributions to the Artificial Storm Project. Before the 3rd, 6th, and 7th storms, Lawrence Butterfly predicted several potential storm eye locations, which emerged just as foretold. With the assistance from the Field Agent Administration, I confirmed the status of the indicated areas. Although they didn't perfectly match their core regions of the storm, those coordinates did correspond to concurrent supernatural phenomena. As researchers, we must recognize the value of building upon the work of those who came before us. Yes, but for researchers, didn't perfectly match and concurrent don't constitute convincing enough reports. If you want the data, the p-value is as low as 0.012, which means there's a significant correlation. The inputs and results can be verified, so the findings are reliable. Oh, that's just great. Fantastic. Soon enough, the entire Institute of Lorenz will know our high IQ is reversing faster than time itself. I guess. Piracy. Not the fun kind. Simone's statement is definitely a much more damaging bomb.
Miss Simone, did you just say something about the Foundation? Are we not moving off topic? We were discussing our efforts to identify substances immune to the storm. What is all this about the Foundation?
No idea, but it's sure to be the most cheerful, positive, wonderful news. That'll teach you to run Madam Buckethead out of town. Now it's going to be those Foundation dimwits calling the shots. Ha!
I won't stand for the Foundation ordering Laplace around. I'll set things straight with them later. You have my word.
He raises his hand in exasperation before promptly dropping them and slumping back into his chair.
In fact, Miss Simone, you may relay my message now.
I understand your concerns, Mr. Enigma, but given our present circumstances, the Foundation's involvement may have a bright side.
She unfolds a neatly prepared document.
The resolution the Foundation relayed to me was principally concerned with your artificial storm project, Mr. Ulrich.
Huh?
What? Did you switch gears on us, Ulrich?
For Flux's sake, all I did was ask for a little support.
Speaking of, the Foundation also sent through their approval for your other requests. Mostly anyway. They agreed to supply the majority of your requested materials, including replenishing a portion of our asymmetrical nuclide R. And they've dispatched field investigators to assist us.
Oh?
Additionally, they've done preliminary screenings on the locations you mentioned and confirmed they meet the specifications of our experiments.
The Foundation has never been this generous with us before. Huh.
The exclamation point on his ferrofluid. Joy rushes through Ulrich. He feels almost in a daze.
Don't go popping the champagne just yet, Ulrich. Our new bosses aren't going to come anywhere close to replacing all the asymmetrical nuclide R you've wasted.
Ulrich ignores them, his gaze fixated on the letter in Simone's hands.
Still, it's all too easy. What's the catch?
They want to witness our results. Firsthand.
The table is smacked once again.
Deal. Someone, anyone, take down the minutes.
Ulrich pounds the table once more, sending waves through the ferrofluid.
They also sent over another possible location that they haven't been able to confirm. A ship. The Foundation has requested that you investigate it personally. The Timekeeper will brief you on the details.
Fine, fish tank. You're off the hook for now.
Fish tank. Regulus glances at them, then her eyes fix on Ulrich, who is calmly removing his disguise.
Just so we're clear, you're not planning to smuggle out my treasure, right?
I wouldn't think of it.
Fab. And you're not angling that I foot the bill for this excursion, right?
Ulrich clears his throat before steering the conversation back on track.
The Foundation's intel appears accurate. After some preliminary checks, I am certain this will be an ideal locale to conduct our experiments. I've never seen such intense readings of asymmetrical nuclide R outside of the storm.
Now hold on a minute, Ulrich. You're not about to take a swim, are you?
Only if necessary.
Ouch.
With my record? You've got to be off your rocker, mate.
Oh yeah, she says it like I like. Ulrich quickly abates her protestations by presenting her with the record.
Not at all. It's time it was returned to its rightful owner.
She's happy. She embraces the record like an old friend.
Oh, my darling. Oh, my treasure. Welcome home. Oh, I'll broadcast your tracks on Radio Apple for 72 hours straight and hold the rookinest party ever just for you. Oh, you've got my word.
The joy of this reunion pours out before her, before a graver possibility flashes across her mind.
Hold on. You're not about to withhold my funds, are you?
Fret not, Regulus. Given its special significance to you, we made its composition analysis our first priority. Now that the first step is done, I'm more than happy to return it to you.
Bet they'll need it again.
But what about your experiments?
Oh. But what about your experiments? Clutching her little thing in her hands, Regulus hesitates, then reluctantly hands it to Ulrich. Ulrich clears his throat, again donning the feigned immortality of his disguise once more. Plain formality.
Not to worry. I've already made arrangements.
He proudly raises his coat to unveil Laplace's latest masterpiece. Dozens of identical Little Thing records are stacked neatly together.
We went to great lengths to ensure these replicas were identical in every way. We even reproduced the ink used in the signature, identical down to their heart and soul, courtesy of Laplace craftsmanship. We've achieved complete consistency in both composition and appearance.
Oh yeah. Ulrich's proud tone is cut off by Regulus's exclamation of surprise.
What? Well, I've got to hand it to you. They're dead ringers for the real thing, but
dead
this
ringers.
Is piracy. And not the fun kind. Musical piracy.
Drastic times call for drastic measures. I hope you'll find it in your heart to forgive
and
us,
not
Regulus.
the fun kind. Oh, I've already done that one. Clicked on the wrong one. Cumulus clouds drift slowly across the night sky like the rolling waves of the sea, the countless stars glinting gently behind them. The damp sea breeze has laid a heavy layer of moisture on the surfaces of the ship. Standing at the observation window, the captain's face betrays no emotion. There is a faint, hesitant sound at her door. She the captain?
Oh, Miss Fatutu. I hadn't expected you to visit.
Grace's face lights up, every inch radiating joy. She eagerly opens the door, affectionately pulling Fatutu into the room.
I must say it's a welcome relief from the onslaught of greedy businessmen and boorish officials. All puff and no substance. Bloated, lifeless. They remind me of a few specimens of decay from my collection.
Decaying specimens? Miss Grace, you mean body?
Hush. Let's just leave things at that.
She squints as she studies the faintly protruding veins on the girl's hands, imagining the blood coursing anxiously through them.
So then, you're here to talk about something else? Go ahead.
Yes, Miss Grace. I just wanted some advice, if you don't mind.
Not at all, my dear. We are friends, aren't we? We are venturing into the unknown. So it is little surprise that you feel lost. But disorientation is a dangerous enemy. I am more than happy to help. Relax and keep an open mind, dear. We have a long night ahead.
A few soft, subtle noises come from outside, but they are not enough to disturb the intimate conversation between the two. Grace sets down her pocket watch, her gaze drifting past the slightly ajar door, a faint smile teasing her lips.
The thing is, I tried to ignore the outside world, just like you said, but I failed.
Fatutu instinctively lowers her head.
The idea of raising a spear against people I know so little about, even if it was to avenge my home, I felt I had to learn more about these outsiders, to understand them. I'm sorry I went against your advice. I thought that learning about them would harden my resolve. I thought that I would hate them from the depths of my soul. That the hatred would be so strong that I'd feel no remorse.
Hello, Tail Splash.
That I would see in them what you and Manus Vindicte do.
Fatutu's back. The cruise ship is back.
But...
And we're trying to figure out what's going on this ship alongside somebody trying to run an artificial storm experiment here. And now, brave, cute little Fatutu is going up to Miss Grace, and Miss Grace seems a little bit sinister, in my humble opinion. In the face of her wavering resolve, Fatutu bows her head in shame.
Instead, after interacting with the people here...
The noisy music hall, the bustling tourists, the bright lights, the sea shanties, they all linger in her mind.
Fatutu, my dear. There's no shame in having second thoughts.
The gentleness of her response leaves Fatutu momentarily stunned.
How could you not? This was but your first glimpse of a world so much wider than you knew. But you'll soon realize that it is nothing more than a dying corpse. Its lungs still clinging on to its last breath. The face rots first, you know. It's a nasty scene, I assure you. Those shrinking, putrefying eyeballs are always a headache for taxidermists.
What do you think about that line? Why? Miss Grace, come on.
Next, the chest cavity. It rots out from the inside, bloating with noxious gases produced by its decomposing flesh, until it's ready to pop like a party balloon.
Wow.
Even at this stage, if you were to hold your breath and look only to the limbs, you might marvel at the artisanship. Such a perfect creation. Yet it dies all the same. So it goes.
Fatutu has never encountered such a warm and spirited captain before.
Do you see?
That's what we call it.
Now?
Her gory
Take your
descriptions
time.
are warm.
Think it through.
Grace lightly taps her finger on the board beside her, as if keeping time with the faint footsteps outside. Lost in thought, Fatucci remains oblivious to it all.
The outsiders are different from what I expected. Miss Grace, are you sure they're truly evil?
Grace glances out the window. Through the porthole, a strange vibrating sound grows louder and more distinct. Following Grace's gaze, Fatutu notices an enormous shadow on the other side of the porthole. Can parasols and railings really create such an enormous silhouette?
They are cunning, menacing, and at times have even been known to engage in eavesdropping.
The shadow creature creeps closer toward them, steady and deliberate. Stealthy and deliberate.
Miss Grace, watch out! It's some kind of monster!
There is no doubt. This cutting description has angered the shadowy intruder.
Huh?
It's here!
Scrambling, Fatutu grabs whatever is nearby, signal lights, brooms, and heaving lines, and flings them out the door.
I'll protect you, Miss Grace!
What monster is she fighting, or is it just crew? Don't even know. Alright, we need a plant team ideally. And boy do I have one with Willow.
A bold attempt.
This way, please. Not
Start off with
for your sake.
a big dose of poison and the poison damage foot.
A bloody handprint on broken glass. Classic.
Listen to the melodies of wind and waves. Ow! My next performance, Bubbles bursting.
You're only pretty, dear.
Eat my prayer. Oh, I call upon you. Knock, knock.
Dropping Tuesday's ult does a ton of poison damage now that poison has been boosted. And sets up a matrix for increasing poison damage, I think.
Get back and stay back.
She converts some of the poison to
Your
Hag's Bane,
punishment will come.
and then triggers any Hag's Bane alright with a ton of damage.
You're not half bad.
You're not half bad. The commotion seems to have come to an end.
Is it dead?
Panting heavily, Fatutu musters the courage to rush out of the cabin. The figure on the desk is removed from the terrifying enemy she envisioned.
It's you, Barcarola.
Sob. A familiar tear streaked her face, emerges from the aftermath of the chaos. The captain, however, seems unfazed by the disheveled state of her crew staff.
Miss Barcarola, what a pleasure to see you.
Have you lost your mind, Fatutu? I've been looking all over the ship for you to thank you for the lamps you made.
Aww.
This is a funny way of saying you're welcome. Not even the rudest student in Cremona would attack someone for saying thanks.
Aww. An unfamiliar term springs from her lips, sparking Fatutu's curiosity. Apologize
Cremona?
first.
Where's that? That's really not what matters here.
Yeah, alright. Thank you, Barcarola.
Settle down, please, ladies. This was only a small misunderstanding, wasn't it? As both your captain and your friend. I hope that you might be able to resolve this. I do believe I could see you two becoming fast friends.
The captain's overtures are anything but subtle.
Fatutu here is eager to learn about the outside world. And I'm sure you must have many stories to share, don't you? Consider it a favor. In exchange for those sea mother's eyes.
It simply wouldn't do for a captain to leave these two in such a state.
Why don't you take a seat, Miss Barcarola?
She moves aside, extending two delicate hands to them. The two girls take her hands, allowing themselves to be drawn close. Then they lean together on the railing. The sea breeze sweeps across the deck, dispersing whatever awkwardness there was between them.
You were quick to gloss over your hometown. Cremona, wasn't it?
Grace's voice is gentle and soft. Barcarola loosens the tension in her strings, speaking as she looks out over the moonlit water.
Cremona, the city of violins, as they say. See, I was born in that awful, dreary old place. But I don't like to talk about it, Miss Grace.
Patutu examines Barcarola's expression.
But it sounds like you still miss your home. So why speak of it that way? Is there something wrong with it? In Nukuteao, when we find something rotted in our village, we wrap it up in stinky grass and throw it in the ocean.
Oh, the stinky grass.
Do you outsiders not do this as well?
Well, it's not completely rotted exactly. It's just...
She furrows her brow, seemingly searching for the right words.
In Cremona, everything is bound up with the violin. How it's made, how it's played, even the science of it. It fills the air and every conversation. You can't walk to the trattoria without tripping over a virtuoso. They come from Rome, Berlin, London, New York, Nairobi, Tokyo, Uppsala, people from far and wide, all crammed into one town. Not a day goes by without a concert, a symphony, or a festival musicale.
Wow.
Am I misunderstanding you? Because to the Nukutai, the idea of a place with music and festivals every day sounds very... fun.
That's where you're wrong, Signora. It's no fun at all. At least, for me. To be Cremonese is to take pride in its music, its history, and above all, its violins. And you must learn to love the violin, the viola, the violoncello, and the bass, because there is nothing else. Every quartet is a string quartet. Every concerto is Vivaldi. Strings, strings, strings. The monotony is unbearable. The world has so very many instruments as diverse and as varied as the people that fill it. Even the shell around your neck could sing if you knew just where to tap it. But not in Cremona. That's why I speak of it that way, Fatutu. Because if I had stayed there, I would never have seen the music of the world and its instruments, and my crackling box would never have been able to know their sounds.
The Nukutai don't have many instruments. Not so many as you, anyway. But we were never bored with what we had. I'm certain that your island holds great beauty beyond its music. If ever we grow tired of singing and dancing, we'd go searching for shells or swimming in the reefs.
Aww. Her mouth always gets me when I look at it.
You still have much to learn about the world beyond your islands.
Then you have no intention of ever returning home, Miss Barcarola?
A seemingly most ordinary question.
Return? They're too set in their ways. Like old fossils. My vision of music grew beyond them, and I did too.
Barcarola cups her hands around her mouth and hollers
I won't
into
force myself back into their little world!
Your determination is admirable indeed.
Glad to hear it. Then my position is safe for another day.
How could it not be? You are the very star of the Free Breeze.
Uh-huh.
Barcarola's face lights up with renewed pride.
What about you, Miss Grace? You've never told us about your home.
It's a place of little interest to anyone. Not even worthy of naming.
Ouch. Her demeanor is far more composed than the rambling chatter of Barcarola.
They say a musician must be free of attachments to be truly creative. Perhaps this is true of captains as well.
No, that can't be right. The New Gutai believe that to stray from our home is the death of the spirit. If we travel too far and too long, our spirit shells develop cracks that no amount of Nuku glue can mend.
Nuku glue!
And from these cracks come an intense sadness. The elders call it homesick.
Homesickness. See, we have this word as well. The sailors aboard often ask me to play the songs of their youth when they're missing their homes. So many different melodies. Thankfully, my crackling box has all kinds of instruments to suit their needs. I imagine it must be difficult for your people now. If you'd like, I could learn to play some of your songs and perform them. I'd be more than happy to help after all you've done.
That's kind of you. I'm sure it'll be of great help to us.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to help, Patutu. It is my job after all.
The girls' conversation seems to stretch on forever, but the increasing frequency they rub their eyes clearly marks the passage of time. Eventually, the sun climbs above the sea, painting its surface a satin blue, and as the ship's horn sounds, gentle ripples spreads across
It
its
appears
surface.
the sun has caught up with us, ladies.
Mamma mia! The concert!
As she rubs her eyes, Barcarola catches a glimpse of the captain, lightly shaking her pocket watch, and remembers something equally important.
I promised Signora Regulus a rock and roll concert, but I haven't even asked her what instruments she needs. Ciao, ragazze!
With hurried footsteps clattering down the stairs, Barcarola quickly vanishes.
Thank you for talking with us, Miss Grace.
She has waited for Barcarola to be clearly out of sight before speaking.
Don't mention it. I only hope that it was helpful for you.
I have one last question. I was wondering, how do you stay so determined?
Alright, quick break. by the way, Splash, if you're here, listen to this menu music. Doesn't it sound familiar? Not like necessarily the same tune, but the same feel to that carousel music we were hearing. Anyway, if you come back, we'll see it on a later menu. Alright, we're back. Regulus stands on stage, cheering and dancing in a lively twist.
Hello, Free Breeze! Listen up, all my rock and roll stars fans and wannabes. You lot are in luck, because you are about to experience the greatest, grandest, most radical rock and roll party of the era. Now get up on those feet and drag those little legs of yours on deck, because it's time to get those old bones jumping.
Her smile looks so ridiculous. It's like she has fully embodied the DJ.
Just think, folks. One day you'll be sitting by a fireplace telling your grandkiddies that you were here. This is the night you become a legend.
Ciao, Regulus.
Barcarola bursts into the room.
Well, if it isn't our star musicista.
This isn't what we agreed on. I thought we'd make our preparations together.
What preparations?
Barcarola pats her chest as she tries to steady her breathing.
To begin with, we must do a survey of our guests' musical preferences, then prepare a song list to match. Then we must carefully organize our transitions to optimize the flow of the concert.
Wait! Arrangements! Concert! What are you on about? This is rock and roll, love. A proper rock and roll party.
No arrangements? No song list? This isn't what I was taught to do in Cremona. As musicians, we have a responsibility to ensure that every listener enjoys an exquisite and seamless experience. We must allow them to savor the emotion and artistry of each piece.
Oh, that won't be a problem.
Sounds a bit stuffy, doesn't it? Come on, no reason to get all hung up on the details. Music is freedom. The only thing that matters in rock and roll are the vibes.
Regulus clearly holds no space for unnecessary formalities.
You don't use your brain. You feel it in your heart, babe.
Oh, I love every single one of her lines.
Guess your miserable old music teachers never taught you that, eh?
Barcarola furrows her brow, but eventually her expression relaxes.
Fine, but just to be clear, next time we do it my way.
Cheers, love! You're an inspiration to musical directors the whole world over.
Flattery is often more effective than any incantation.
You can find the record player in the locker backstage.
Regulus immediately darts backstage. Turn off the lights, connect the sound system, check the stylus, pick a record, position the tone arm, raise your hands high, and get ready for
Is this what you call heavy metal?
What's that? No! First up is an iconic taste of psychedelic rock. But I haven't even found the power socket yet.
The clanging of metal echoes from the lower decks, growing louder and clearer. Then an eerie, otherworldly shrieking follows. Followed by what feels like an earthquake. What? On board a ship? While the guests exchange uneasy glances, Sonetto has sensed that something is amiss.
Timekeeper, those sounds are familiar, aren't they?
The Manus
Metallic
Vindictae?
percussion sounds, sprinkled with screams of pain. It's Manus Vindictae.
Those black and bizarre metallic creatures rear their heads once more. A torrent of metal instruments surges up from the stairwells to the lower levels, like oil gushing out of a pipe. What, they want to play too? The sudden commotion sends the guests into an uproar. They huddle together, whispering nervously to one another.
What? These persistent pests again? Which hellhole did they crawl out of this time?
Don't worry, Senora Regulus. I won't let them disturb your rock party.
Oh yeah! She stands calmly but fiercely before them.
You oafish barnacles are ruining the atmosphere and scaring our guests. I very much doubt you're doing this with the approval of Captain Grace. You should be working in the engine room, not making noise up on deck. Have you all forgotten the Seafarer's Code of Conduct?
They appear unmoved. The Foundation's investigators step forward, immediately taking command of the situation.
Sinetto, Regulus, get the crowd out of here.
Aw, hey there, Soma. Welcome to the stream. We're playing Reverse 1999. I'm Walter Snackle Fox, and this game is a fantastic gacha game, which is about the history of the world and a peculiar natural disaster called the Storm, which affects the flow of time, bring it backward and forward. And today, we're on a cruise ship that looks kind of like the Titanic, sailing around, and somebody's trying to do experiments on the Storm, while our plucky crew is adventuring around and trying to just enjoy themselves and see if there's any problems on the ship, of which we just saw a big one. The crew apparently are villains, made up of the Manus Vindictae, monsters that work with the Storm and try and twist it to their own ends. So, Regulus, one of Verdun's friends here, Verdun is our main character, there's Regulus, her name at least, is trying to throw a rock concert but gets interrupted. So let's rock and roll and move on to the next scene.
Get ready to engage with these Manus thugs.
Understood. Miss Barcarola, I'll ask you kindly to step back from these brutes.
Please, Senora. There's no need for alarm. I know they may look a little strange, but they're just engine crew. They work here.
Oh?
And as such, as our musical director, I have some authority over them. Moreover, it is my duty to ensure all our guests have a safe and enjoyable stay.
Now I see how the Manus kept themselves hidden.
Fatutu quickly finds herself trapped amid the restless crowd. She stands on tiptoe, dazzled by the countless overlapping shadows and rays of sunlight.
Is that Barcarola? What's she doing over there?
Amid curious and astonished gazes, Barcarola gradually approaches the dark mass of Manus followers.
If you've come to be entertained or perhaps for some music lessons, I would be more than happy to assist you in the crew quarters later. However, your musical talents will not be needed at this time, as we already have a scheduled performance.
No heed is taken, instead a hammer is raised high.
Stop them!
Boy, they're not gonna listen to Regulus and company, are they? Not that they are fulfilling the spirit of rock and roll at least a little bit.
Which of these darlings shall we attend to first?
At least 3 incantations of the same type within a round trigger homophones. Okay, that's like resonance. For every 1 additional, homophones level +1.
Perfectly understood.
Ready? Aim?
Please, allow me.
Ha! My crucible really has a mind of its own.
Stay back, I say!
Oh, he's dead. They're dead. Alright. That's kind of sad. They bring out any more? Yeah, 2 more. Hey, I think we have enough oxy. Right there. There. There.
I've got some treble brew, fresh from the crucible.
Oh. About to clean house with these pair.
Get ready. This is
Shadowlight Master.
And
Get ready.
Allow me to double
Shadowlight Master.
Wait for the pop.
The light that illuminates all.
and that's enough for them. Didn't even get to hit him with the ult.
Finally, it's just you and me, Master.
More and more Manus disciples fill the perimeter of the hall, surrounding those inside like trembling pen sheep.
What's happening? Why are they acting crazy?
She stands resolutely, putting herself between the guests and the crazed Manus disciples, her heavy breathing condensing on the neck of her crackling box.
As the musical director of the Free Breeze, I can't allow you to harm our guests.
Enough of your nonsense, foolish outsider.
A flash of cold light streaks through the air.
Nova protect!
A shell-shaped ripple appears, deflecting the icy air.
Are you okay, Barcarola?
Fatutu darts out from the crowd, rushing over to Barcarola with no regard for the surprised stares of the Nukutai behind her.
What are you doing, Fatutu? That is an outsider. Have you forgotten your duty to your people?
A stern, familiar reprimand booms in her ears. After steadying the shaken musician, Fatutu nervously turns around. Her brother's figure looms in the shadows of the crowd. For the first time, this image deeply unsettles her.
No! Never! But, Kamutsa, this is not defending our home. And it doesn't feel like avenging it either. What we suffered was not these people's fault. There has to be a better solution to all this. This isn't our way. It isn't right.
Fatutu stares fearfully as her brother draws closer. As he comes into the light, she finds herself staring into a face that is both familiar and strange.
Kamutsa!
Oh no. Kamutsa gently shakes his head. Inky black liquid drips from the seams of his mask.
Fatutu, we have no choice.
He donned the mask. Why? End of the sun. The sound of scraping metal brings an end to the pumping rock music, painting a look of solemnity and fear on the faces of every guest. A little alive figure steps gracefully onto the stage.
We should raise a toast, one and all, for we're in luck's good graces to be aboard this ship. A ship? Perhaps one ought to think of it more as an art.
The guests exchange uneasy glances. After a long silence, one guest hesitantly breaks the silence with a question.
Just what are you getting at?
Oh, I get it. Is this some kind of surprise theme party, like a murder mystery? Is that right, Miss Barcarola?
That's French. Barcarola looks bewildered. The captain's sudden and strange appearance on the stage was certainly not part of any performance, at least not one she had prepared.
No, I didn't plan for any of this.
You aren't entirely wrong, though, Mr. Matthews. For this is certainly a surprise. If not so much a party as a ceremony, allow me to congratulate you, our honored guests. Each of you with your unique talents, resources, and powerful connections. have earned a chance to join Manus Vindictae.
If this is some kind of joke, Captain, I don't find it funny. So how about you knock it off?
There's no joke at all. Unless you plan on throwing away your precious opportunity to join us in the new era.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Have you gone insane?
In their fear and anger, the guests make to leave, but a young man in a mask swiftly blocks the doorway.
How dare you blaspheme our savior!
Toa, ever since you put on that mask, you've been acting strangely, like a different person.
She can hardly recognize her dear friend at all.
You're wrong, Salome. I was lost after we left Meli, but now I've never felt so certain of myself. You must ready yourself for the mask trial too. We must all be willing to sacrifice to bring our people into the new era.
He proudly pounds his chest as he glares disdainfully at the trembling crowd before him.
As for these ignorant outsiders, they will never understand the depths of the crimes they've committed, or the punishment they deserve.
Calm down, Toa. Don't bother with these outsiders. They only care about themselves. Only the storm can bring the change we need.
With bizarre masks, fervent prophecies, and the clinking of misshapen shells, they perform their unannounced stage play. Its audience cowers together in fear.
Lunatics!
Timekeeper, it seems as though the islanders aboard are working with Manus Vindictae.
There's no telling what else the Manus have up their sleeve. We need to call for support as soon as possible.
But our communications are jammed.
Regulus, are you able to reach Mr. Ulrich?
I should be. I've got no clue where he's at now. He dashed off with the roaring machine, mumbling something about sound wave frequency and nuclide R. Still, I might as well give it a shot. If I can still recall Laplace's internal frequency, that is.
Sinetto, we must calm the situation before things escalate further.
On it.
Orders are issued methodically. Grace watches with interest as the Navy top hat moves through the crowd. A gentle smile sweeps across
Ladies
her
and
face.
gentlemen, perhaps you have yet to understand what the storm really is.
No, perhaps we don't. Because I remember what you wrote in all the flyers. The Free Breeze is equipped with a double hull and the most advanced communication systems available, capable of contacting rescue and support under any circumstances.
Yeah, and something about a stabilizing system. Why should we be worried about some heavy weather? Or were you lying to us?
Oh, the specifications of the ship are all very much true. No natural weather phenomenon could endanger us here. However, the storm I speak of is not a mere matter of churning wind and thunder. And no double hull, nor stabilizing system, could stand against it.
So, what the hell is this storm?
It is a cleansing. A deluge that will come to eradicate all the sickness of this world. And an opportunity. A chance to reverse our course. All that is asked of you is an insignificant price.
Reverse? Price? What are you talking about?
In the 90s, veins turned into wires. In the 80s, skulls turned into geometric shapes. Oh, in the 60s, what fun we had then!
Ouch.
The entire world became a pop art spectacle. And Manus Vindictae have seen us through each one, for all these many years.
So, you're saying that the world is going to be transformed? And something weird will happen to our bodies too?
You are exactly right.
And the Manus were behind all of this? Why?
Now, don't be so harsh on us. We've made heroic efforts to cleanse this world of its sickness, but each generation keeps making the same mistakes.
economic collapse, environmental crisis, endless wars and bloodshed. We had no choice. The wounds of this world must be cleansed, one deluge at a time. Now we are welcoming a new storm. One that will reverse us to an even more distant past.
Fear and anger intertwine. The crowd is like a volcano on the verge of eruption.
You're a lunatic, Captain. You need your head examined.
Oh, yeah.
Lady, you need a psychiatrist.
But these things you're showing us, they really happened?
No need to take my word for it. You will all bear witness to it soon.
The crowd descends into a hushed panic. Every lapping of the waves can be heard amid their ghostly murmurs. This is the perfect moment
The
to calm
storm
the crowd.
is not coming. We are from the St. Pavlov Foundation, an organization dedicated to the protection and rights of humans and arcanists.
Oh, thank goodness.
As the timekeeper of the St. Pavlov Foundation, what she showed you won't happen here. Manus Vindictae are just trying to manipulate you into buying into their deception and hatred. Don't give in to this false fear. Please, everyone, remain calm.
Another bamboo arrow shoots through the air.
Protect us? You? Don't make me laugh!
But Tutu doesn't hesitate to stop him.
Toa, wait! She seems trustworthy. Maybe we should listen to what they have to say.
Really? You think these people care about rebuilding our home? Were they there when Nukutea was hit by the Great Waves? Where was their protection then?
I'm not sure. But I just can't bear the thought that we might make a decision we'll regret later. I don't want to see any more cracks and scratches on our shells.
Her cries cannot overpower the murmuring of the guests, nor can they quell the rising fury of her kin. And they certainly cannot stop another poison arrow.
This is getting out of hand. Be careful, Timekeeper. They're coming for us.
Oh, I got it now.
Oh, a 4-member team. I can bring out Flutter Page.
A good point.
Make sure I do that.
It's the connection between numbers.
Just another shift.
The benefits of field mapping.
The golden ratio. I've confirmed that this adheres to the precepts.
Oh, they're taken out. That was it?
I found a tooth. Perhaps it's a gift for the tooth fairies.
The hall is in utter disarray. Labored breathing, sighs, and sobbing blend together like a sickly pot of thick stew.
No, this isn't right.
She wants to say more, but the familiar scent of herbal incense suddenly overwhelms her. Sleepy reeds, an herbal anesthetic used by Nukutai priests during surgeries.
I think you need some rest.
Huh? I'm sorry for Tutu. This needs to be done.
Saloni catches her as she falls unconscious. The ongoing confrontation on the other side of the hall is evidently far more intense.
A fine speech, Miss Burton. Such delectable, righteous indignation.
Surrender, Miss Grace. Your lies will not succeed here.
Why, of course. To tell a lie brings the harshest of consequences. Even a kindergartner knows that.
Grace surveys the hall. Countless eyes are fixed on her. Anger, hostility, confusion, disdain. She has walked through it all before and never left a trace.
everyone. Whenever there's an imminent storm,
Grace places a delicate hand on her raised arm, interrupting her speech.
What a coincidence, Miss Burton. I so happen to have a similar device myself. 3, 2, 1.
Impossible.
Miss Burton, as you said, lies will not succeed here. The question is, who here is the liar? Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to relish the sight before you. Here we are. The last evening on Earth.
Wait. I'm gonna take another bathroom break. on to chapter 14, Call for Help. The figure running down the corridor narrowly avoids another container, the ferrofluid violently swirling in his tank.
Flux's sake! I can't work under these dim lights. Could this cheapskate cruise liner not spring for some decent halogens or fluorescence?
Ulrich briskly makes his way down the corridor, the asymmetrical nuclide R collector inside his briefcase buzzing loudly.
Just as I expected. The closer I get, the more erratically the collector's gauge reacts. I must pinpoint the ship's current location as soon as possible. Wait, the readings are a bit off. Is it because of the seawater? Or is there an abundant load of nuclide R in this area?
He crouches down, laying the suitcase on the ground and pounding on it.
This thing must be broken. Oh, when I get my hands on the engineers responsible for maintaining this, I swear I'll... calm yourself and think, Ulrich. Did you miss anything crucial? Yes. The oily slime in the power supply room. A rudimentary test showed that its refractive index and infrared spectrum closely matched our samples from Manus Vindictae.
The ringing of the communicator interrupts his thoughts.
Who's calling? Regulus?
Finally! Oh, I've been trying to reach you for a while now, Ulrich.
Calling to check on the artificial storm project, are you? I still have a way to go. I'll call you when I need a hand or two.
No. I'm afraid I'm not offering you a hand. I'm asking for one. We need you topside, you fabulous fish tank. There's a gang of Manus thugs here.
Ulrich leaps to his feet. Amidst the static, he has caught the most crucial piece of information.
The Manus. There's sure to be a considerable amount of nuclide within their masks. Perhaps I don't need this unreliable scrap of metal after all. Send me your location straight away, Regulus. Where are these Manus thugs?
A surging mass of people blocks Ulrich's view.
Flux's sake! This is a bigger crowd than I expected.
His bulb stands out amidst the crowd, causing the spread of a new panic as they retreat away from him.
Who is this fucking light bulb?
Oh my god! I don't want to end up with a light bulb for a head!
Huh? What are you talking about?
Ulrich nimbly dodges the hammer blow, intense electrical pulses surging around his body, through his body.
There we are. Another extract of asymmetrical nuclide R.
Though poised to take action, Ulrich is promptly stopped by the pleading hostages.
Ulrich! We're over here!
Wonderful. I should be able to extract
He is immediately cut short upon entering the crowd. Ulrich narrowly avoids another attack before finally reuniting with the others.
This seems to be a bit more than a gang. Closer to a horde, really. You understated your situation, Regulus.
Your help is much appreciated all the same, Mr. Ulrich.
Help? Well, I'm afraid I won't be much help to you, Timekeeper. Fighting is far from my specialty.
Blimey!
Yeah, blimey. Regulus feels utterly lost.
They seem to be corralling the guests. At least they aren't hurting them for now.
It isn't about hurting them. She wants to recruit more followers.
Countless steely, emotionless eyes scan the crowd with icy precision.
Is there a single ship in this whole bleeding world that doesn't belong to either the Foundation or the Manus?
Mr. Ulrich, does Laplace possess any technology that could detect an imminent storm?
We made several attempts to do so in the aftermath of the second storm, but none of them proved effective. Since that time, we've become reliant on the storm alerts from the Foundation, or more specifically, from you, Timekeeper.
Miss Grace claimed that the storm was coming, and she managed to accurately predict the occurrence of the anomaly outside. Yet, my watch has shown no sign of an imminent storm.
Light rain is tapping on the porthole. Zenetto unconsciously tightens the cuffs on her sleeve.
In any event, I believe in you, Timekeeper.
Thank you, Zenetto. But it isn't you that I need to convince. It's them.
Countless eyes, filled with fear, suspicion, and hostility, remain fixed on them.
No wonder my readings were going wild. Apologies, Timekeeper. Though nothing would make me happier than disproving Manus Vindictae, I can't deny the possibility that these phenomena are precursors to the storm.
That is not a reassuring answer. The wind howls fiercely. The horizon has become almost completely obscured. Far-off islands and faintly visible reefs blend into one another, as if smeared with an even darker shade of paint. Amid the crowd, people slump to the ground, their sobs lingering in the air.
Please, everyone, listen. We have to stay calm.
Struggling to her feet with the help of her crackling box, Barcarola rises to fulfill her duty once
I
again.
ask you to put your faith in me and in the free breeze.
I should have never come to this party.
I want to go home. I'm scared.
Someone help us. Please.
Barcarola's voice is drowned out by the wails of the crowd.
What can I do to get these people's attention?
How about that rock concert already, alright? A massive sound resonates from the bow of the ship, sending a vibration so strong that many are thrown to the ground.
What?
Did they run
What's
aground?
happening?
Due to low visibility at sea, some public services on the Free Breeze will be temporarily suspended. We apologize for any inconvenience caused. We are now entering an area of treacherous reef. During this time, there may be some sharp shifts in course. In order that we might reach the new era as soon as possible, the Free Breeze will forge ahead at full speed. Please stay indoors, and in case of emergency, hold on to the handrails. I repeat, please stay indoors and hold on to the handrails.
Captain Grace, why in the world is the Free Breeze going full speed through these reefs?
To embrace the future.
But if we strike any of these reefs, the damage could be catastrophic.
Not as catastrophic as missing our chance to embrace the storm.
Her softly spoken words fall on deaf ears.
Blue! I won't stand for this! You're just trying to scare us into joining your cult! Oh, I'll bet there's no reef, no storm at all! This is trickery, and I intend to prove it!
Do as you wish, sir. Please watch your footing. The wind is howling outside.
She gives a polite nod as the guest storms out of the cabin.
Look! I'm standing firm!
The guest stands firm on the deck like a warrior singing triumphantly between Scylla's cliffs and Charybdis' whirlpool. That is, until he's struck by the power of the wind. His scream is quickly drowned out in the storm as he vanishes into the void. One guest pulls the hatch closed again, blocking out the howling wind outside and returning their one safe haven to...
Gone! Miss Grace, you murdered that man.
What an utterly baffling accusation. Have I shot him? Stabbed him? No. The choice was always in his own hands, wasn't it?
The hall remains silent. After a long while, one quivering guest steps forward.
Captain, you said you'd save us if we joined Manus Vindictae, right?
It's not as simple as that, I'm afraid. But relax. There is only a small trial to pass. Then the new era waits.
She gestures to an all-familiar mask
You may
sitting
feel a
silently
little
on the table.
disoriented, but your body will be in no danger.
So, if we all put on these masks, then this nightmare will be over?
Things can't get any worse than they are now, can they? Give me the mask!
Oh, lost lambs. This will be the bravest leap you've ever taken over the fence.
Zeneto turns toward the crowd.
Please, everyone, don't fall for her lies. She doesn't offer you salvation, but slavery. Don't give up your free will.
Listen to her. We've got to be free to choose for ourselves. Rock, blues, classical, or heavy metal, it doesn't matter. Each of us is our own melody. The Manus will take that from you.
It's our turn, Timekeeper. I'm at your command.
All right. Our priority is to bring the guests back to their senses.
Alright, another one of these battles.
Step into the
Hopefully
fairy
this
ring.
one's a little bit more scary.
Everyone, the St. Pavlo Foundation.
But you and your foundation have been hiding the truth behind the storm from the public. How can we trust you?
Don't lose hope. The Foundation and the LSCC have been working hard to overcome the storm, and we've never been so close to achieving it.
Really?
Yes. Our research on the storm is on the verge of a breakthrough, one that will benefit everyone.
Come on, guys. Do you really want to plaster one of those things on your face? You'll never be able to eat again or listen to music. Blimey, what kind of life would that be?
Don't waste your breath on these lapdogs. They're all bark and no bite.
A new hypothesis.
The connection between numbers.
Okay, we're back
Taking
to
another
3
look?
rather than 4.
Behold the phenomenal world.
He's taken out. And both of those guys are all low.
It won't last.
A good point.
Form, space, and order.
Is that a firefly?
No
Or
other
a
study
tooth
could show you this.
Fly, my numerical friends.
A little surprise.
Move that over here, combine that into a rather strong follow-up attack from Windsong.
A new
Got
hypothesis.
a bunch more.
Taking
And
another look?
Oh, almost.
Don't touch the device.
Alright. I'll see if I can
The connection between
that.
numbers.
Which one has?
in with the
This
grid
An academic question.
song.
The golden ratio.
Have to take her out.
Limited scale, infinite lines. Confirm the coordinates.
1. Alright.
The civilians have calmed down, Timekeeper. Take a moment. I'll deal with the rest.
No, Zeneto. This crisis is far from over.
Good grief. How many passengers are on this bloody thing?
That weren't even as tough as waking up an old factory man.
The guests remain in turmoil as the believers and skeptics argue among one another. Fear and confusion quickly spread through them like ink and water, and soon
I did it! I put on the mask!
I thank you, Miss Greb.
It hurts! It hurts so much!
We can't let more of these people give in to their fears.
her voice is almost entirely drowned out by the roaring crowd.
These stubborn outsiders must be silenced. Take them away. Let our revenge begin with them.
For Nukutea!
Selene, take my troubled sister back to her room. The softness of her heart has clouded her judgment, just as her shell shows.
Chief.
Black ink seems to stain every one of their faces. The upheaval has engulfed the Nukutai along with countless other innocents.
Mom, I want to go home.
Just think if something happens, sweetheart. Remember that toy your dad bought you? It's waiting for you at home. We'll be there soon.
Trembling, the mother lowers the mask to her child's face. Barcarola lunges forward, knocking the Manus mask out of her hand.
I don't believe your job description permits you to interrupt our guests. Does it, Miss Barcarola?
I don't understand, Captain Grace. Why are you letting this happen? Why are you doing this?
Grace carefully picks up the still humming mask and brushes off the dust. She steps forward.
Cheer up, dear girl. Hold that chin up high. Now that's the spirit. The brightest star of the Free Breeze forever and always. Just take a look. Your loyal fans are waiting for your next show. Won't you play some of those beautiful melodies for them again?
But, Miss Grace, what do you mean by the storm and diseases of the world and this new era?
Oh, it's all so much simpler than you think, Miss Barcarola. In the new era, all that you hated in this time will vanish, as if it had never been there at all. The city of violins you swore you'd never return to will soon be forgotten, washed away in the coming storm. Your wish will come true. You'll never need return to it. You couldn't even if you tried.
Never again?
Memories of her home return to her as if she was just there yesterday. The towering bell tower of the cathedral, the creaking footbridges of the dock, Cremona Music Festival competitor list that never displayed her name, and the distant scent of torta and risotto. She has been far away from that world for so long, yet there before her eyes, she sees it again. The report card scribbled with red ink
What was
soaring
it
on the
you
wind.
said about that rotten little town? The monotony of sound, the disappointment of those old fossils and their little worlds. Is that right?
Yes. I said I never wanted to go back.
Now, keep your hand steady this time, my dear. You must be certain.
Old metal meets Barcarola's hand, jolting her back to reality. Her trembling hand reaches for her peculiar silent instrument. She cradles it in her arms.
My crackling box.
Then in the intricate structure of the instrument she created, she finds all the pieces of that familiar thing. A fingerboard, strings, a soundpost, a bridge, tuning pegs, a violin. No! A sudden warmth burst forth from within her, urging her to push the mask aside. To be continued.
I'm confused, Toa. If these disbelievers are a danger to our vengeance, why are we only locking them up? Shouldn't we just toss them overboard?
The chief wants Fatutu to decide how to deal with them. A test of her allegiance and her conviction. After she puts on the mask, of course.
Ugh.
You're afraid, Selene. Don't be. The trial isn't difficult. I see things so clearly now.
I don't know, Toa. I trust in Kamutsa's leadership, but still...
Just like always, you're waiting for everyone else to test the water before you jump.
I just feel that there's something wrong. You say you're not afraid, Toa, but I hear your chains clinking. You're shaking too.
Shut up. That's only because we're in a freezer.
A familiar
Blimey!
face.
Locked up again. At this rate, I'll have my imprisoned on all 7 continents bingo card before I turn 20. It's an honest bet I've spent more time behind bars than my own home.
I wasn't aware that you had a home. Beyond the ship, I mean.
Of course I do, love. The whole of London is my home. I've walked its streets. I've inspired its people. I fought for its music. Its spirit stamped on my very soul.
She paces back and forth in the cell as she passionately proclaims her cause. Rebellious artists often fall into such radical expressions.
And jolly old London will always have a harbour open for this captain and her apple as a token of... Wait, Barcarola, what are you doing here?
A familiar silhouette appears in the prison door window.
Well, I suppose those tin heads aren't the type to appreciate a true artist. Jealous of our talents, no doubt.
Miss Grace said to give you special treatment, Barcarola. But I warn you, these prisoners are ours to deal with. So don't get any ideas.
What? Barcarola, don't tell me you're siding with these tone-deaf goons!
Door creaks open and Regulus stumbles back a few steps. What greets her isn't the familiar sweetheart of the ship, nor the elegant musician, but a tear-streaked, almost disheveled, and helpless face of a young girl.
I'm just confused. It seems like there's only one way forward, but the captain said that only those who put on the mask have a chance to survive the storm, and that everyone else, the unbelievers, the Forsaken, will vanish. Miss Verton, tell me the truth. Please. What will happen if I put it on?
Her voice is almost entirely drained of strength.
If I reach this beautiful new era Miss Grace speaks of, what will happen to Cremona? The streets, the cathedral, all of the people I grew up with. Will I ever be able to see them again?
The truth is, after the storm, there may still be a Cremona. Every face, every song, every brick from each house to the cathedral will be different. The storm will wash away almost all traces of this era. But you can still help us, Miss Barcarola.
Me?
No matter when the storm arrives, we must fight till the last second to help as many people survive as possible.
I need some time to think.
The door slams open again.
Your visiting time is over, Barcarola. Better not overstay your welcome.
Barcarola wipes the tears from her eyes, taking deep breaths as she tries to steady herself.
I have another request. Could you tell me where Fatutu is? I just want to see her, is all. As a friend.
Please help Fatutu. The captain's cabin is calm compared to the carefully crafted atmosphere of fear and eeriness on the rest of the ship. A delicate hand turns the knob on the radio, switching it to a more secretive frequency.
They're well aware of your contribution.
To follow their divine guidance, we must be willing to renounce both body and mind.
Well done, Apostle Grace. To think those white suits are so sure they've caught us off guard. Oh, I can't wait to see the despair in their eyes when they fall flat on their faces. I can imagine it now. Let us all observe a moment of silence for those lost in our latest failure. Let us honor them as eternal monuments of our cause. How pathetic.
Despite the static, the ridicule and forget-me-not's tone rings clear.
Oh, and what about this Laplace rat that I hear is stowed away on board?
Yes, the awakened ferrofluid sample named Ulrich. One of the major contributors to the creation of the Equilibrium Umbrella.
Let's hope his little umbrella keeps him dry. Because if he isn't careful, he may end up in much deeper waters.
The ritual materials are nearly assembled, and we are accelerating our recruitment. But the Nukutai spirit shells have yet to reach their most optimal form. It could hinder the stability of the ritual if they're not immersed in pure negative emotion.
Your commitment to quality is impressive, but the shells needn't be perfect to perform as needed. Do not waste time unnecessarily. Do you understand, Apostle Grace? I trust you've learned from the last failure.
Yes.
Excellent. A teleportation array has been set up for you, but it will last only a short while. You must begin the ritual as soon as your ship reaches the target location. Manus Vindictae awaits your return.
Yes, Mr. Forget-Me-Not. I will always follow their guidance.
Communication ends, leaving only the echo of the final words spoken through it. Grace raises a pale hand, gently caresses the intricate patterns on the spirit shells. Silence fills the room.
Subido será. It's no use. The cabin's wall is heavily reinforced. My arcane skills can barely scratch it.
I guess that's why they didn't even bother taking our stuff. Ulrich, you've got to have some miraculous trinkets up your sleeve to bust us out, right? You're the pride of Laplace, after all.
Laplace is not a circus, and I am no magician. But I may have something that can help. I have a small amount of TNT and some Papier Pillar solvents. The former can blast the door open. However, it will likely blast us to smithereens along with it. The latter is much safer, of course. All we need to do is apply to the walls and then wait for a couple of days.
We're abso-friggin-lutely screwed, aren't we?
Don't be gloom, Miss Regulus. We aren't beat yet.
Ulrich sets aside the obviously useless tools. He has made a much more important discovery.
Take a look at this, Timekeeper. I've been recording the Free Breeze's heading since it left Sydney, though unfortunately, something has been jamming our signal. Yet, we can still extrapolate from my earlier readings that the ship is not heading to its advertised destination.
It's heading steadily southward.
It appears so.
Her thoughts churn more violently than the ferrofluid's vibrations.
The forecast of the storm, the sudden eclipse, the mask trials, and the speed at which the Free Breeze is now heading. If all they wanted was to recruit more followers, they would allow for more time to convince the others. However, if the storm is indeed coming, then why would we be racing forward through these reefs? Their actions don't seem to be aimed at recruiting, nor at passing through the storm. Rather, they seem to be aimed at...
Are they heading toward Intimidation? The air in the cell seems to momentarily stagnate.
This would add weight to the possibility that the storm they're promising is only a trick to inspire more fear. That said, we must consider the chance of the storm occurring, no matter how slim it may seem.
Ulrich stands tall, unwavering in the face of conjecture.
Until the truth is ultimately revealed, all we can rely on are the instruments in our hands and the readings before our eyes.
Then we are agreed, Mr. Ulrich. Whether the storm is coming or not, we need to be well prepared.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
We've brought quite a few Equilibrium umbrellas with us, and my suitcase can also serve as a temporary shelter. However, that will do nothing for the humans aboard.
Your suitcase? Then the rumors are true. No wonder the Stick in the Mud Foundation greenlit you to build your own team.
Ulrich stares intently at the suitcase held in her hands.
I would give anything to analyze it one day.
I'm certain that day will come. Eventually. Sonetto, how many Equilibrium umbrellas have we brought exactly?
Like 8?
Exactly 73.
A sufficient number to cover all the comrades in the suitcase. Unfortunately, it's far from enough to account for the nearly 1,000 people aboard the Free Breeze.
Cheer up, ladies. Our hopes are not dashed just yet.
Mr. Ulrich, you're not speaking of your artificial storm experiment, are you? We have neither the time nor personnel to assist you with it, and I implore you to consider the potential risks, especially in attempting it alone and under these conditions.
Ulrich eagerly continues his explanation, heedless of his companion's concerns.
Irrespective of your concerns, thanks to those oily heads and their quirky masks, I have acquired more than enough asymmetrical nuclide R to perform the immutability experiments.
But have you considered the side effects, Mr. Ulrich?
The ferrofluid holds for a moment.
It's true. There is the risk of unavoidable side effects the experiments pose, and I admit that, if I were in the lab, we would use much more time and caution. But on this ship, I am the only one capable of withstanding the effects of the storm syndrome.
Despite his seemingly calm tone, a new round of protestation has volleyed his way.
Hold on, hang about. Have you gone right off the dock? Oh, we can't afford to lose you, genius. You're the only gadget guru we've got. Oh, we're counting on you to fix the signal.
She grabs Ulrich by the tank and frantically shakes it, sending the ferrofluid swirling inside.
Mind the negativity, Regulus. I may be a scientist, but I'd rather not have the bad omens. It does take time to recover from the storm syndrome. Indeed, it could be as long as 3 months, or a few weeks. But hey, it may well be just a matter of seconds. Fortune favors the bold, you know.
But if I've learned anything at Laplace, it's that we'll need to do dozens of tests.
I agree with Regulus. Your plan is too reckless, Mr. Ulrich. Our priority should be to find a way to escape this ship safely.
She looks through the cell door window. There's no one outside.
What about Miss Barcarola? Do you think she'll stand with us?
She will. I have faith in her.
Mr. Essam, would you lend me a hand, please?
What brought our brightest little star? Oh, look at you out of breath and all covered in dust. What happened?
Easy, easy, Barcarola. We're here to help.
The warmth of their greetings causes tears to well up in her eyes.
That's right, Signorina. Why don't you tell us what happened? The captain told us to stay put, but we'll do whatever we can to help you.
The Free Breeze will never go home again.
What?
Captain Grace said this era is coming to an end, and only those who put on a Manus Vindictae mask and pass its trial can reach the new era with her.
Sorry, what? You just turned your old friend Charlie's brain into a knot. Where are we going, then?
There's no telling where, or even when we'll end up. Could be someplace 10 years ago, or even 100 years.
You mean we're traveling through time?
I don't know.
I've got to admit, Signorina, this all sounds a bit too wild to be believed, but as sure as a compass points north.
He gently pats her on the shoulder with a large, rough hand.
I will trust you mean every word you say.
Thank you, Giovanni.
So, you're saying if we don't do something, then none of us will ever see home again?
Her silence is answer enough. The sailors exchange a glance, needing no words to make their decision.
It's decided then. We'll fight by your side, Miss Barcarola. Because none of us wants to find ourselves in a random land back when the dinosaurs roamed.
You got that right. I won't let them ruin my retirement.
We'll sail ourselves home if we've got to. One thing's for certain. I don't want to be stuck here for the rest of my life.
All right, gentlemen, enough with the words. It's time to take action. Miss Barcarola, is there anything we can do?
Yes, of course.
All right. Dissonance.
Hey, the Nukatai nutjobs outside are gone. Oh, don't tell me they've abandoned ship and left us here to starve. Come back here, you yellow-bellied cowards. This pirate is not going to Davy Jones' locker without a fight.
Having satisfied her anger by yelling through the porthole, she turns to the others.
Sonetto, are those solvents working at all? Tell me they are.
It appears the outer layer of the door has already dissolved substantially.
Excellent. The Papier Pillar solvents are more effective than I anticipated. At this rate, the door should be fully dissolved in approximately 13 hours.
Oh, wow! That fast? Really, Fish Tank? I'll be waiting with bated breath.
She furiously shakes his glass tank.
Hey, why don't you just whip us up a few helmets like yours? That way you can just blast the door open with TNT and we'll be sound as a pound. Well, our heads at least.
My helmet is made of regular silica, 7.092% calcium magnesium carbonate, and 3.27% aluminum oxide. I'm afraid it's no more explosion-proof than your regular old skull.
Regulus slumps against the door as the last vestiges of resistance leave her body. A faint shout comes from the other side of the door.
Regulus, I'd stay away from the door if I were you.
Huh?
They're here.
Hold on to his anger like your life depends on it. We ram the door open on the count of 3.
The helmsman's voices are like music to their ears. Countdown begins. 2.
1.
With their final count, the supposedly unbreakable door collapses. The cheering of familiar faces echoes through the room. Regulus swears it's the most beautiful noise she's ever heard.
Right on! Oh, I knew you'd come through for us, Barcarola. A rising star through hell or high water.
You have our thanks, Miss Barcarola.
I just want to save as many people as possible. For the pride of the Free Breeze.
We aim to do the same thing.
After a pause, Ulrich steps forward.
Timekeeper, I need to get to the radio room. It's likely to be the only place on the ship that will be able to get through their jamming.
She turns to Ulrich with a solemn look on her face.
I'll bring good news, I promise.
I see. Regulus, you should go with him.
No. I don't need additional manpower for such an easy...
I insist. We can't afford to lose anyone, Mr. Ulrich.
She places a compact device in his leather-gloved hand.
The Pioneer's Mark I positioning system. The latest in technology from Laplace.
But if I recall correctly, it's never been mass-produced. Only a few prototypes were made available.
And this is one of them. If anything happens, someone can use it to track you down if you're in serious trouble. Like if you've fallen into the sea.
This will surely come in handy. Thanks, Timekeeper.
Good luck, Mr. Ulrich.
He won't need it, because no one knows radio systems better than this, Captain.
Haha. She nods before the two vanish around the corner.
The rest of us need to return to the lobby and get the masked guests under control. Sonetto, do we have sufficient sedatogens left?
Yes, Timekeeper. We still have plenty.
She turns to the helmsman.
Gentlemen, I'll need your assistance too.
Of course, ma'am. Miss Barcarola already told us Sounds like helping you means we're helping ourselves.
Etzam,
Do you know where we can find the spare keys to the passenger cabins? We have another friend to free.
Oh yeah. We're coming for Tutu. Elsewhere on the ship, two stealthy figures navigate through the darkness.
Are you sure this is the right way?
Are you doubting my capabilities?
Not exactly.
Broadcast room. It's empty.
It's only that I expected they'd have this place locked down like the Crown Jewels. But nobody's here.
We'll concern ourselves with that later. Let's get to work, Regulus.
Ignoring Regulus's wandering about, Ulrich quickly channels his thought current to the broadcasting console.
Coastal Base Station, come in. Coastal Base Station, come in. Where's the International Maritime Organization when you need them? Laplace Australia branch, please come in. Laplace Australia branch, please come in.
I just checked out the wiring. All the signal transmitters have been sabotaged. No wonder there's been no sight nor sound of those oily freaks.
Ulrich seems unsurprised. Retracting his thought current, he disregards the apparent predicament. He lays one particular item after another onto the table.
Reel it in, fish tank. You're not conducting the artificial storm experiments right here, are you?
Why not? We have a supernatural phenomenon, a vast water supply, sufficient asymmetrical nuclide R, and the required sound wave frequency ready in the transmission system here. If these aren't the perfect testing conditions for the artificial storm, then what is?
Wait. Are you forgetting what you just said to Vertin? What about all those side effects? You've got no bleeding idea how severe they'll be or how long they'll last.
Which is why it's lucky you were sent along with me, Regulus. If anything happens to me, you'll have to be the one to report the experiment's results.
He gives her a hearty pat on the shoulder.
Whether the storm comes or not, we'll have made an undeniable leap of progress. More than worth a bit of storm syndrome, no matter how nasty.
He tosses an equilibrium umbrella into Regulus's hands.
At least now you'll have an extra equilibrium umbrella.
He pays no mind to his immobile teammate. Instead, he meticulously sorts through the materials he has spread on the table.
Ulrich, I refuse to be a part of this.
The 27 Club. Boy, we're getting close to the end a little bit. Might be able to handle this all tonight. What's going on here? In the cramped broadcasting room, the little lion and the light bulb are at a face-off.
What did you say?
They're calling Regulus the little lion. Ulrich, what did you say? Her unexpected declaration has caused the ferrofluid to come to a halt.
You heard me, you daft light bulb. I will not be your undertaker.
Regulus, you still haven't grasped the significance of this project, have you? We've figured out the principles of the storm, and even developed the means to create its simulacra. Yes, there's still much room for improvement, but we've already made a huge leap. And now, we finally have the opportunity to put our theories into application. Finding an immutable material is essential to our survival. The Regulus satellite proved it to all of us. Just think about it, Regulus. We are standing right on the cusp of the post-storm era.
Regulus bangs her head.
Fish tank, you planned this all along, didn't you?
Don't tell me you're worried about the funds and credit for the experiment. Laplace will cover all your potential losses and expenses incurred should anything go wrong. And whether this project succeeds or not, your assistance has been indispensable. Surely enough to earn you a fat bonus and a high rating for your salary review. And I will certainly not be hogging all the credit.
Ulrich stops upon seeing an even more resolute expression come across Regulus's face.
Whoa! No! Keep it in the tank! You've got me all wrong, Magnet Head.
Huh?
The two exchange stunned looks.
I'm a member of Laplace now, same as you. A researcher, not just an observer. I too witnessed the storm.
Ulrich has never seen Regulus so earnest.
So ergo, therefore, QED, I'll participate in your artificial storm experiment. Not as your note-taker, but as your fellow experimenter.
I never expected this from you, Regulus.
He knocks it on his glass tank, perplexed.
Don't tell me my reports were really that bad. Never mind. Really, don't tell me. Fact of the matter is, I got an advance on my wages, so I fully intend to do my duty as a researcher. Besides, no rockin' pirate with a spine would ever leave their shipmate stranded in danger.
Ulrich squeezes Regulus's shoulder.
I admire your courage, truly. However, when it comes to these experiments, you must leave it to me. That is an order, Regulus.
His resolve is unyielding. He opens the door, signaling Regulus to leave his lab.
I need you to observe my status through the porthole and record our experimental data. You're the only one that can do it.
All right, Magnet Head, have it your way.
Her eyes linger on the experimental materials in the case. Platinum Ouija boards, a young dragon tongue tubes, fire moth powder, and numerous duplicated records.
Say, Ulrich, do you like rock?
Now is hardly the time to chat about music, don't you think? I hope you won't be pestering me with more of these inane questions. And to answer you, I prefer brown noise. Its frequencies produce a soothing rhythm in my ferrofluid.
See? That's exactly why I can't leave it to you.
What?
This logical leap nearly causes Ulrich's cervix to crash.
I turned a blind eye to your blatant acts of piracy and brushed off your blasphemies against rock. But if I miss out on an adventure like this, I'll forever lose the right to join the 27 Club. All the best rock stars die at 27, or in a blaze of glory. This is my record, my responsibility. We might fall or even vanish. Maybe we'll get turned into cubes or paint or whatever. But at the end of the day, rock.
Whether you're a rock legend or not, you shine with the radiance of humanity. Regulus, I salute both your experimental spirit and your rock and roll spirit.
Regulus without glasses is wild.
There's only one thing left to do. Project. Experiments on material immutability via artificial storm. Locale. Radio room of the Free Breeze cruise ship. Experimenters. Ulrich and Regulus. Our experiment will now commence.
Alright, another break. next chapter of Reverse 1999, The Last Evening on Earth. For now, we're on Chapter 19, The Pain of Missing Home.
Miss Burton, it seems all the passengers are gathered in the lobby.
The group has finally arrived at the cruise ship lobby. The place is a mess.
We've lost too much time. A lot of people have put on masks while we were locked up.
We'll need to round up the ones that are still conscious.
Sure.
The hastily assembled rescue team leaps into action, breaking up rising quarrels and separating the crowd members fighting over masks.
Manager, more contenders? Like we don't have enough people wrestling for a mask.
Give me that mask, asshole! I'm joining Manus Vindicte. I will take the trial.
Clearly, any semblance of onboard etiquette has long been abandoned.
Sir, I believe you may be too weak to endure the trial. You should leave this valuable opportunity to someone who will be more useful to Captain Grace.
Please put the mask down, everyone. This isn't the way to survive.
Give it to me! That mask belongs to me! Miss Grace smiled at me once. She must like me. She'll want me to join her!
I just don't want to be killed by the storm thing. I don't want to die.
The helmsmen dip and dive through the crowd as they administer sedatigens to the almost delirious passengers.
Get back to your senses, people. If I were you, I'd have thrown these creepy masks into the sea the moment I saw them.
The Nukutai survivors watch the nearby rescue operation from afar. Thanks to Grace's kindness, their situation appears far brighter than the other guests. But not all of them share the newfound faith.
Salome, you must put on the mask, please! For our people. It's not scary, I promise. Would you rather be captured by those outsiders?
Go to the captain's room, Towa. You passed your trial. I'm sure the captain and our people there need you more than I do. I must stay here to look after Kitiona, Little Pita, and our friends who still seem to be lost.
What is wrong with you, Salome? All you need to do is put on the mask.
Selene breaks free of Towa's grip, nearly falling to the floor as she does so.
I'm sorry, Towa. I think Fatutu was right to have second thoughts. Look at all the people who have put on the mask. Now tell me how many of them have survived.
Following Salone's tear-filled gaze, countless failures of the trial lie sprawled on the floor. Nukutai, Australians, Italians, sailors, merchants, tourists.
And what? You're afraid? Is this really more important than bringing our people home?
The storm outside continues to batter the ship. The lobby, however, grows increasingly silent.
You have changed. The Towa I knew would never have dared to ask me such a foolish question. Haven't you heard their cries?
You need to think of the future, Salome. The new, beautiful homeland we're going to recover. We could live peacefully once more. We could...
His tears mix with the viscous black liquid of the mask as they drip onto the floor.
Please stop, Towa. I'm sorry. When I see how tainted and twisted your spirit shell has become, I can't. I won't.
Selene crumbles to the floor, her voice barely a whisper. Soneto spots them among the crowd.
I recognize her. That's Miss Salome. Timekeeper, I think they need assistance.
She rushes toward the Nukutai survivors.
Stiletto, watch out!
A new world.
Narrowly dodging the attack, Soneto looks up in surprise. Beneath their cold bronze masks, viscous fluid seeps from the Nukutai believers' eyes and mouths. Their limbs have twisted into grotesque shapes, and they mutter to themselves as though tormented by an unending pain.
Sinetto, get ready to use those sedatogens.
Keep the sample.
Other homophones. And at the end of every 3 rounds, summon 2 Nukutai to the allied battlefield. To the enemy's battlefield. Okay.
A good point.
What I'm good at. Just another shift. Home, space, and order.
No other study could show you this.
Up and at it. Laundry time. Fly, my numerical friends. Got this. I can do it.
A new hypothesis.
Custom made of sheets.
What I'm good at. Higher than the bell tower, and even the clouds.
Oh, that's cute.
The benefits of field mapping.
That it?
We worked on this collaboration together.
I rushed him so I didn't have to face reinforcements.
Pardon me for this, please.
She sprays a dose of sedatogen over them. Unfortunately, the sedatogen seems to have little effect on those under the control of the masks.
What are you doing to my people? I won't let you hurt them.
Toa stands vigilantly before Sinetto, shielding the unconscious Manus believers.
Miss Burton! Miss Sinetto! We're back!
Huh?
Fatuchu comes rushing over.
Sloane! Toa! Are you alright?
Tutu.
Their encounter brings little joy. Toa, instinctively touching the mask clasped to his face, takes a few steps back.
I'm so glad to see you unharmed, Fatutu. But our friends...
I know what happened, Sloane. Parkerola told me everything when she got me out. I've made up my mind now. We can't wear their masks alone. We never should have agreed to their so-called revenge plan.
The Manus believers seem to latch onto her words, reacting as though they are a shot of adrenaline.
Revenge.
Toa leaps forward, the ragged claws tearing through his arm as he shields his childhood friend once again.
Toa! No! No! Why is this happening?
Blood splatters before her eyes, painting the lobby wall crimson. The believer's appetite for vengeance has only grown stronger.
Retribution.
They seem to be more frantic than ever before. Timekeeper, I suggest increasing the dosage of sedatogens.
The mask's influence has wormed its way deep into their brains. I'm afraid sedatogens won't be able to awaken their consciousness any longer. They need something that reaches into their soul.
Rock music. The Manus believers are determined to destroy everything in their path. As they surge forward, the crowd is pushed back. Barcarola is caught in the center of the chaos.
Isn't there something I can do?
The wails, the cries, and the pounding rain outside nearly overwhelm her. Amidst the chaos, the bow slips out of her hand. She jumps at the sound.
Stop playing with that atrocious toy of yours and pay attention to the class, Barcarola. Music is a language that moves us on to a deeper level than any other, transcending both culture, place, and time. Whoever you are and wherever you go, it will always stir the depths of your soul.
No need to remember, no need to think. Familiar, simple tones flow from her crackling box.
We're not so different deep down, are we?
Huh? What's that sound? Violins, piano, cellos, double bass, and flutes.
But violins? She hates violins. I want to go home.
Her people raise their hands helplessly, clawing at the air. Tears blur her vision, but her thoughts only grow clearer. Though her hands are trembling, she gently lifts the harmonica to her lips. Her quivering lips blow a gentle rhythm into the harmonica. A new melody joins the ensemble. The islander and the musician exchange a glance, and with no baton nor words, music flows from them. The melody echoes through the lobby, gently closing the eyes of the tormented believers. Toa's raised hands finally fall, as though succumbing to a deep sleep.
It's over now, dear friends.
Barcarola nervously wrings her hands.
I'm sorry, Fatutu. I didn't expect my song to put your people in this state. I only wanted to help.
You did. You're the greatest musician I've ever seen.
But your friends, they've
gone home.
But
the lightly trembling shoulders before her suddenly feel unfamiliar. Had those fragile, tender shoulders always been so brave and resolute?
Look at the shining, pristine spirit shells around their necks. That is a sign. It tells us that their souls are at peace, that our friends lived a full and honest life.
Wiping her tears, Fatutu gets to her feet and starts to gently collect her lost people's spirit shells. She can still feel their warmth in her palm.
Fatutu!
Before the warmth of the spirit shells can fade, Huda strides into the lobby, his demeanor cold. Coming up on a battle here, I reckon. Humans are not immune to the storm inside the suitcase. To elsewhere, to home.
What are you doing? How could you side with our enemies? Against your own people. Against the ones who would rebuild our home.
Incredulous severity colors his tone.
You've brought shame on our people. You've disappointed me. Stop all this now and come with me. We will beg Miss Grace to cleanse your soul.
Like the countless times before, he waits for her to grasp his outstretched hand. An unexpected act of defiance.
Joining Manus Vindictae was a mistake, Kamutsa. Their masks blinded our people. They tricked us with their lies and empty promises. But look, so many precious lives lost for nothing.
It wasn't for nothing. They died for the resurrection of Nukuteao. Isn't it your dream too? To rebuild our home in a land free of humans and their wickedness?
Fatutu shakes her head.
No, not anymore, Kamutsa.
She looks around at her people, their faces marked with pain and confusion.
We may have lost our islands, but what we've done here lost us something far more precious. There's nothing in this so-called new era that Miss Grace promised us that is worth becoming monsters and corrupting our spirit shells. Our pride must be in ourselves and who we are. The shells around our necks, the words we speak to one another, the way we treat others with kindness, not hatred. That is what defines us. We are more than just how the outsiders can use us. More than our sea mother's eye. We are the wisdom of our elders and the traditions we keep sacred. And if our islands all sink beneath the waves, we will remember them in our craft and in our stories. We will remember the story of the brave Nukutai girl fighting off the series. We will remember them in the songs of Nukuteao. No matter whether it's an island or a ship we stand on. As long as we're together, Nukuteao, our home, lies beneath our feet. Didn't you say you would always have faith in me, Kamutsa? You believed I could lead our people to a better future. Now, I believe in myself too.
She raises her head, the shells on her chest heaving with every breath. They tremble in unison, resonating with the collective energy of Nukutai.
You'll be a better leader than I ever was, Fatutu.
The expected reprimand never comes. She stares in shock at her brother, at his lips curled into a faint smile, at his trembling hands still extended out to her, and at the black blood seeping from his eyes and ears.
What's happening to you?
Crash. The towering figure before her falls to the ground.
I'm fine, Tutu. I'll be alright. You're right, dear sister. The words you spoke have opened my eyes.
Pained words are forced through his blackened lips.
Mother!
As she cries out, heads turned toward her. The mask remains tightly affixed to Kamuta's face, its black liquid nearly covering it entirely.
It's the mask's punishment. I don't understand. Manus Vindictae used their masks to sift out their most loyal followers. Those who pass the trial can retain their personality and memories. However, if they should show any signs of faltering in their faith, the mask will punish them. Their consciousness will be devoured by the fathomless depths of Arcanum until they become nothing but a walking corpse, caught in eternal agony.
A slow clasp breaks the silence.
Well, well, I am stunned by the breadth of your knowledge of our operations, Miss Verton. But I must remind you, gossip like that is terribly bad manners. Is it any wonder why our guests look so terrified? Though it does pique my curiosity. I wonder, even with all you said, do they fear us more than they fear death?
Her commanding gaze hovers over the passengers before finally landing on her former follower.
What a pity, Mr. Kamuta. I had high hopes for you. It seems our friendship has come to an untimely end.
Her words are cold and emotionless, instilling a new fear in the crowd.
The people here know the truth about your masks. There's no sense trying to deceive them any longer.
Oh, is that so?
Grace slowly advances, her steps poised.
Timekeeper, stay behind me.
Zanetto imposes herself between the two, poised to fight.
What do we have here? How adorable. The ever-loyal deputy leaps into action, but we're on a tight schedule. And I don't have time to play games. There's no power in your shiny little badge here.
She glances at the Foundation emblem on her chest.
Mr. Kamuda, Manus Vindicte will forever remember your contribution. Farewell.
For Tutu, watch out!
Sleste tu Pandva.
Brother! No!
Do that one. We'll do poison.
Miss Grace deliberately led us here to the deck. But why?
Timekeeper, the fog is thickening by the minute. The low visibility might hinder our ability to use arcane skills.
As suspected. Our attacks can't reach her from this distance.
Please allow me to spearhead the assault.
Be careful, Sonetto.
Is that a cocoon?
Is Miss Grace inside? No. This power feels more complex than any person, and much more dangerous.
Timekeeper, the cocoon is affecting the masked guests somehow. Look, they're writhing in pain.
We have to act fast.
Understood.
Come together to conquer this great weight.
Alright. More homophone. Poison. Okay. Poison.
What's this?
This way, please,
Poison.
child. Heed my prayer.
Ah, it seems to be mixed up. It should be fine, right?
At your service. A bloody handprint on broken glass. Classic.
Be gone.
He's away.
Great. We will
No, drives progress.
Who's that?
use this opportunity.
This way, please.
Experience fuels knowledge. Splash in the
To
water.
get rid of some non-debuff.
Typhon won't give up his friends. Neither will Sotheby.
You're liking it.
Together, we are fierce.
You really do that to a poor little maid. Your room is ready, dear.
See how my skills glisten in the sunlight. I'm prepared.
My child. Knock, knock. Room service.
The sparkling of the sea, the shimmering of scales. There is always a light to follow.
Luke will foresee your ending. It's for your safety. Do keep calm, please.
Great. It's with poison on Tuesday.
Light the bonfire.
To get
I
poison
remember.
out. More poison.
What's this?
Transfer.
Heed my prayer.
Trigger
Oh, I call upon you. The same shadow from the same light. Be gone. In the name of darkness.
Why, Miss Grace? They've already given their souls over to you. Why do you insist on taking their lives too?
Betrayal bears a hefty price, Miss Fatutu. The lies of the Foundation have twisted your minds. You're confused, disoriented. I'm sorry I couldn't save you from them.
No! You're the one who lied to us!
I've done nothing of the sort. I will guide you to a brighter future. To a home untouched by the tsunami. Just as I promised. My friend.
I don't believe you. Not anymore.
What a pity.
Then on Tuesday.
I know what this is.
Then on Tuesday.
This way, please.
For poison damage.
I know what this
Trigger
is.
that.
My
Put
child.
that out and
This
that
way,
out.
please.
A bloody handprint on broken glass.
Put out a ton.
Classic.
This is the gift. Well prepared for you.
A real troublemaker of a guest, aren't you? At your service.
Hurry along, my dear guests. Say your farewells to our beloved free breeze while you still have the chance.
The cocoon! It's breaking open!
Stay calm, Sonetto. This is our chance. Time to destroy this thing and save the free breeze.
Your room is ready.
Heed my prayer. Oh, I call upon you.
No, stress progress.
Knock, knock. Room service. Luke will foresee your ending. Your punishment will come.
Keep up the pace.
What's this?
What's this? What's that?
Embrace new experiences.
I've tripled the ingredients this time.
Bask in the sunlight. See how my skills glisten in the sunlight. See how my skills glisten in the sunlight. Knowledge.
What's this?
The sparkling of the sea, the shimmering of scales. There is always a light to follow. Devote yourselves to one another.
The ingredient store owner said it was very effective. Please believe me.
Oh boy, what was that? Didn't finish it off fast enough, I guess. Well, we're doing a different style this time.
Miss Grace deliberately led us. Timekeeper. Please allow. Be careful. It's Miss Timekeeper. We have time to verify my new hypothesis.
A good point.
Standard.
Well, I'm good. Just another shift.
Yeah, flitter page out and
Home,
some
space, and order.
Taking another look.
37.
It's out with you.
So let's start with wind songs.
Rise and shine.
Oxygeneration and generating all of
Behold the phenomenal world. What I'm good at. The connection between numbers.
And your hypothesis.
Form, space, and order. Laundry time. Fly, my numerical friends.
The benefits of field mapping. Don't touch the device.
Oh, Windsong can use some healing.
Yes, I got this. I can do it.
Okay, let's see. That there.
A good point.
Yes, I got this. I can do it.
Is that a firefly?
Taking another look.
Higher than a bell tower, and deep in the clouds.
A gift in return for your tooth.
it's almost done. So, with this ground, keep that, generate another.
A new
3.
hypothesis.
The connection between form, space, and
The
order.
benefits of field mapping.
Why, Miss Grace? They were betrayal, but the love.
No!
I've done just.
I don't.
What a pity. Fly, my numerical friends.
Alright, perfect. We've done the transformation.
From beneath the water, the answer.
An academic weapon.
Endless thought.
And now I have
Fluidity
3
and
big follow-up
fluctuation.
texts to launch
A hypothesis of truth.
from, and as well as 37 stuff.
Limited scale, infinite lines. Confirm the coordinates.
Wow. Wait, I'll upgrade that. Launch a
Dance before dawn breaks.
Tooth Ferial. That over.
A good point.
Launch it. And bring that over. Final let together.
That's what we could get. Flowers are falling, starry skies beside the
Is that it?
Hurry along. The cocoon. Stay calm, Sina. Time to destroy.
Taking another look.
Ouch! Just another shift.
An academic question.
Is that a firefly?
An academic question.
What I'm good at.
A little surprise.
Limited scale, infinite lines.
See how much damage this does. Fusion.
Behold.
Great, not nearly.
A new hypothesis.
The connection between numbers.
No other study could show you this.
The golden ratio.
Oh, I'm getting damage. Okay, let's upgrade this healing. Get out some
Which one
eyeball.
hurts? This one or this one?
A good point.
Is that a firefly?
Higher than the bell tower, and deep in the clouds!
Nice.
A traditional treatment.
Alright. She's up
Taking
half.
another look.
Seems like whatever I need to do, I should have Kikania in the party. Oh, I can look at her. Nothing about that. Star beats mineral, so my star is fine. Chaos. Okay, incantations may select the wrong target. Genesis damage. Alright. We're taking out... I think we take out 37. Put in Kikani.
Oh, are we heading to a seminar?
Miss Grace deliberately led us here to the deck. But why?
Timekeeper, the fog is thickening by the minute. The low visibility might hinder our ability to use arcane skills.
As suspected. Our attacks can't reach her from this distance.
Please allow me to spearhead the assault.
Be careful, Sonetto.
Is that a...
It's Miss Grayson's...
Timekeeper.
We have to act fast.
Understood.
Keep the sample.
Make sure I get
And
that
your hypothesis.
attack.
Oh, please. I know how to use it.
What I'm good at. Just another shift.
And flutter pages.
No other study could show you this.
I will be watching you.
Homophone's level 2.
Laundry time.
Don't touch the device.
A simple arcane trick.
A good point.
Which one hurts? This
Hold
one
on.
or
Psychiatrist
this
at
one?
work.
Taking another look. Don't touch the device. A new hypothesis.
What I'm good at. Just another shift.
The benefits of field mapping.
Rise and shine! These sheets are my wings! Got this. I can do it.
An academic question.
Is that a firefly? Or
yes, an academic question.
Oh, please. I know how to use it.
a gift in return for you too.
Higher than the bell tower, and even the clouds!
Limited scale, infinite lines. Calculating distance.
Why, Miss Grace? They've already given their souls over to you. Why do you insist on taking their lives too?
Betrayal bears a hefty price, Miss Fatiti. The lies of the Foundation have twisted your...
No!
I've just...
I do...
What a pity.
So that's the pity line.
Dance before dawn breaks.
A new hypothesis.
A simple arcane trick. Oh, please. I know how to use it.
It's what we could get. Flowers are glowing, starry skies beside
No other study could show you this.
Oh, don't stare at it for too long.
Hold on. Psychiatrist at work.
It won't last.
A simple arcane trick.
A good point.
Which one had? Is that a firefly or a toothpick?
Would you care to lie down?
Taking another look.
Right, the old soap.
A traditional treatment.
Hopefully I can survive it this time. Oh, I didn't. Alright.
Now presenting Bingler's mirror.
An academic question.
What I'm good.
Which one has? This one?
You must see your
this
true
one?
self.
Limited scale, infinite lines. Behold.
Sweetness comes after the pain.
Hurry along, my dear.
The cocoon!
Stay calm, Sonata. Time to destroy this thing and save the free breeze.
Alright. Now that she's out. Let's see what she can do. Expels all control from self. Okay. That powerful.
Oh, please. I know how to use it.
Is that a firefly?
A simple arcane trick. Hold on. Psychiatrist at work.
A little surprise.
Didn't see that coming, did you? And your hypothesis?
Just another shift.
Balance before dawn breaks.
Oh, please. I know how to use it. No other study could show you this.
It's out with you.
Birds fly in the good, flowers on thorny skies by the side of her.
I will be watching you.
Still got a lot of health left. Great. Send
A
it
good
out
point.
to do the prepare.
Yes, I got this. I can do it. What I'm just another shift.
The benefits of field napping.
Higher than a bell tower, and deep in the clouds. Laundry time. Up and at it.
Yeah, even Kikanye can't shield from that. But they survived. Did merely surviving it make me win?
Come back. I need your feedback on our session.
Okay. I bet I could do something, maybe arcane fluctuations gently dissipate around Grace.
Captain Grace! What is it now, Miss Barcarola? I'm sure you've already guessed this, but you've been relieved of your duties here.
Gaining the support of the Nukatai was never your purpose. Am I right?
Miss Grace, give me back my friends!
Grace ignores Fatutu's shouts and slightly furrows her brow.
Oh, Vertin. I could almost delight in your cleverness, if it wasn't so damnably frustrating.
She snaps her fingers. Think. A worn, oddly shaped spirit shell rolls to Grace's feet. She picks it up as if greeting a long-lost friend.
Pity, but there's no turning back now.
The room falls silent once more. There is no sound but the howling of the wind outside. A burst of static echoes from the lobby speakers.
Hello? Hello?
right from the Plaza Storm Research Group.
Oh dear.
The radio broadcast jolts the already frazzled guests.
Whoa!
The tinnitus-stricken guest looks up, the broadcast still hissing incomprehensible.
Everyone, we've found a material. Our storm problem is...
The room falls briefly silent. Then it breaks into thunderous cheers and applause. What? So I think that was the last combat. Final farewell. I've got a few more chapters left. Can finish this. The joy of this declaration has reached the hearts of the crowd. Amidst the cheers, it should say, more and more masks are cast aside.
You never cease to amaze me, do you?
Manus Vindictae have failed.
It would appear that way to you, wouldn't it, Miss Verton? How shall I congratulate you?
A Manus messenger emerges from behind Grace.
Well, well, time does fly, as they say. Be seeing you, and sooner than you think.
Grace opens her pocket watch one last time before casually tossing it aside.
But before I go, consider this a parting gift from your captain. For all time's sake.
Boom. An explosion booms from the ship's depths. Grace gives an elegant bow.
Goodbye, my dear guests. From the bottom of my heart, thank you all for this unforgettable journey.
That came from the engine.
Those tin-headed bastards. They must have done something to it.
Go see what you can from the deck, Charlie.
The seasoned helmsmen hurriedly make their way to the deck.
Damn it all! They've blown a hole straight to the starboard hole!
While the helmsmen pace anxiously, and Barcarola suddenly realizes the gravity of the situation.
Gentlemen, you can't possibly be saying that the Free Breeze is going to sink.
The ship's tremors
Worse,
again.
that explosion came from over by the lifeboats. These bastards are hell-bent on making sure we all end up at the bottom of the sea.
The sound of the tearing waves, humming steel plates, and crying guests pours into the cabin through shattered portholes. The pitch-black sea stretches as far as the eye can see, its surface alive with turbulent, inky swirls. There is another panic as the ship tilts once again.
Help us, Miss Barcarola! You promised to keep us safe!
And you, Miss! Aren't you from the Foundation, or whatever? You said you'd protect us!
The guests are desperately clinging to any chance of salvation.
Please line up, everyone. My suitcase should be able to temporarily shelter some passengers. Miss Barcarola, do you know how many passengers are aboard?
The musician clearly knows every detail about this Free Breeze.
About 1,600 in total. But I think many of them will be injured. I don't know how well they can move.
My suitcase alone won't be able to transfer that many people in time.
Suddenly, the communicator clutched in Sonetto's hand makes a sharp sound. Beep, 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 beep.
The signal's back, Timekeeper.
Just as we suspected. They were jamming our signal. But how did they know our internal frequency?
She quickly brushes this question aside. There are more urgent matters to attend to.
This is Vertin. Please come in. We are currently aboard the cruise ship Free Breeze at coordinates 5535 degrees south, 6501 degrees west. The engine has been destroyed by Manus Vindictae, and the ship is taking on water fast. There are more than 1,600 passengers aboard, but we won't be able to evacuate every passenger through my suitcase alone before the ship goes under. We are in need of immediate rescue.
Understood.
We will dispatch rescue resources and personnel from the nearest branch as soon as possible. Before their arrival, please do everything possible to minimize casualties.
Miss Barcarola, could you point me towards the radio room? I believe our friends may be in need of help.
Of course.
Zeneto jogs away in the pointed direction. The creaking of the ship's planks grows louder, and its railings and rigging groan painful. Their sound carries on with freezing wind, whips at the ears of the crowd. Shivering from the cold, Barcarola remembers something.
Wait! Miss Grace wasn't the captain for long. It's possible she didn't know about the ship's backup lifeboats. They might still be intact.
Good thinking, Miss Barcarola. You're a natural-born captain.
Everyone, follow me!
Without regret. The room is cloaked in oppressive shadow, as if harboring a menacing spirit. A gentleman emerges from the darkness.
You did well, Apostle.
He examines the spirit shells, the lifelong emotions of the Nukutai, lightly clinking in his hands.
These are splendid. They will ensure the overflow of ritual energy will be properly contained. To be frank, I had my doubts about your capabilities. You're still wet behind the ears, and you haven't yet got enough blood on those hands of yours.
The Apostle bows. Her pale hand is clinging to the doorframe.
I am willing to do anything for their return.
Forget-me-not offers her an encouraging smile.
Still, you surpassed my expectations.
Her hand is trembling.
You look tired. Life at sea must have taken its toll on you. Relax now. You're home.
As you wish.
She takes a deep breath and hides her trembling fingers behind her back.
You will play an important role in our upcoming plans. Rest well, Apostle.
I will.
Grace's hand frees as she goes to close the door. Her hesitation is evident.
Thank you, Mr. Forget-Me-Not.
As she shuts the door, Forget-Me-Not's outline blurs and his smile vanishes into the shadows. Steadying herself, Grace slowly moves toward the faint glimmer of light. The wind whipping through the corridor causes her to shiver. She presses her back against the door and slides to the ground. Trembling, she crawls into the nearest coffin. A display case meant for the next specimen. Is this one of their secrets?
It's hard to see here. Please hold on to each other and follow the sound of my music.
Thank you so much, Miss Barcarola. If it weren't for you, we never would have survived. You're so courageous.
But what if there aren't enough lifeboats for everyone? Will we have to leave anyone behind?
The guests' shivering questions are scattered by the sea breeze. They shudder and stumble as they follow the music. The sky is dark, but the churning clouds are no longer noisy. The cries of gulls and the crashing waves emerge with the weeping of the crowd. They make their way through corridors and staircases for what seems like an eternity, their faces steeped in shadow.
I don't want to die like this. There's still so many things I want to do.
I want to go home. Even if the storm changes everything, I just want to go.
We have talked about it. And the Nukutai are willing to give up their spots if there aren't enough boats for everyone. We want to make amends for what happened earlier.
But Tutu, this wasn't your people's fault. The Free Breeze will not abandon any of its passengers.
She raises her crackling box high, her face flushing red.
You have my word as the official musical director. And I suppose, the acting captain.
Margarolo, what have you done to your crackling box?
Sinfonia Chiosa. Dividetevi con grazia.
Oh, Inspector Roland, what's your tampono? I remember you telling us how hard you worked to find it. I haven't seen one of those since my time in Galicia. Depending on the boat. Hey, Barcarola. You're not just a great musician, you're a psycho too. You say that.
Finding home on the waves. Seawater soaks the tips of her hair. The hem of her tweed skirt ripples among the waves. The violin, once hidden within the crackling box, nestles against her, its neck, body, and tailpiece interlocking. A small boat from the past buoying her steadily. This is a boat? I doubt it. Barcarola realizes a terrifying truth, one she has long ignored.
It's just like what Papa and Mama said.
Our cheeky little pumpkin's violin should have a rich and bright the tone. Not too sharp or unbalanced, just to like her.
Let's ask Mr. Belling for some top-notch spruce or maple wood, the best that Cremona can offer. We'll need some glue for the neck joint and plenty of varnish.
Of course, this is a Cremona violin we're talking about. Most important of all, it will be a violin for our little Barcarola.
The voices sound so close, as if they were spoken
As much
just
as I
yesterday.
try to deny it, I suppose my heart is still there with them.
A gentle breeze blows as she finally recognizes that little wisp of smoke lingering in her heart. She clutches the violin even tighter.
Papa, Mama, and Cremona.
A solid embrace infused with the scent of rain and warmth. The rain is finally stopped. The horizon shimmers faintly with a golden
did it.
light once more.
Congratulations, Timekeeper.
I should be the one congratulating you. Don't you think, Mr. Fish Tank?
The ferrofluid in the glass struggles to form a V.
It's an odd twist of fate, isn't it?
Indeed. I've just reported our findings to Laplace. With this, our research on the storm can finally advance to a new stage. I've even managed to develop a taste for rock and roll.
Speaking of the storm...
Zeneto looks up at the sky, the reflection of the light on the water glimmering on her face. This unfortunate cruise has finally come to an end.
Hey, here comes the sun. Woohoo!
I never doubted you, Timekeeper. There was no storm. Not this time, anyway.
Thank you for your continued trust, Zeneto.
The sound of the waves seems to fade away as it's replaced by a new melody.
Smashing! This is sure to be the most fabulous boat party ever held. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Familiar and foreign songs from countless lands intertwine as voices carry gently across the sea. Regulus paddles fiercely over toward the music.
Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom
Da haben wir so manche schon gesessen wohl in froher Ruhe und taten singen, die Lieder klingen im Eichengrund.
Au creux de la lune, on y voit comme bleu. On cherche la plume, on cherche du feu.
Viejas melancolías, cosas de la mar, llegan con el silencio de la mañana. Y cuando sale a verla, vuela a su casa.
A familiar ballad leaves Buck Roller's lips.
L'astro d'argento, placi dell'onda, prospero il vento. Venite la gilet, bacchetta mia, Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia.
You have a truly heavenly voice, Barcarola. I've never heard that song before. Where's it from?
Cremona?
Oh, I know. It must be from Cremona.
Maybe?
No, it's a Neapolitan song. It has nothing to do with Cremona.
Oh, okay.
That's a Foundation helicopter.
That island.
The end. Well, that was good, but I'm ready to wrap on up. No extra stuff. Let's look for raid targets and indicate that we're in extreme.
You had a productive day and deserve a relaxing night. No reason for it.
Nice.
Alright, Dandy's on Elden Ring. Papa
So
Spread
your
on
event's going
Xenoblade.
good. That's good to hear. Glad people are vibing. Are you playing though too, Sugarcane, or are you just kind of doing like event stuff? I'm dead. I'm.
Freedom Planet. EP Panda. Freedom Planet. Let's try it. Do not allow raids. Alright. Seeing a lot of corrupt kit. That's cute.
Wait, what do you mean? Is that not normal? I fit there. What do you mean? Is that not normal? Hey Sid, how